Man, damn, I love classical music. I love classical. I love classical music. We're gonna do an open panel today. Happy Monday to you all. Positivity is definitely coming your way, guys. Let me know how my mic is sounding right now. Today's gonna be a very chill day. You know, I've been going extra hard the past few weeks, 2 weeks. I'm trying to do as many double headers as possible. Today, I won't be doing a double header, unfortunately, because I will be on another show today. My hair is a little bit frizzy today. Yeah. So anyway, I woke up this morning and I said, "Hey, what the hell is wrong with my hair today?" I woke up this morning today, and give me a second, guys. Look at this. I woke up this morning today, and I was thinking about classical music, and I was thinking about famous compositions. I was thinking about famous composers. I was thinking about, even contemporary classical artists like John Williams, Hans Zimmer. And I was thinking about the impact that even modern day classical music has on movies, etc. And I wanted to make a comparison of sorts today in terms of, classical versus rap. And I think it's important to a degree to decipher the genres of music. And, with these kids today who are relatively, they have access to more information, but generally they're stupid, a lot of these kids today. And, social media is influencing them, pop culture is influencing them, etc. And I feel like, classical music may be too regal for most people today, especially children. And let me tell you something. When I was a kid growing up, when I was in high school, particularly, I would listen to classical music while I would study. And it helped me along the way. I really believe that classical music connects receptors in the brain. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've listened to rap, obviously, for most reasons, being black, growing up around black people, growing up as a millennial. Rap is probably the most popular form of music in America or North America. and you have no other choice not but to listen to it. But rap is very vulgar. It's very evil. It's very sexually explicit. It to me, there's nothing that I gain from listening to rap other than being amped up before working out or something like that. But I just want people to call in today. Let's have a good conversation, panel conversation. There's other news too. We can talk about Bed Bath and Beyond closing all their stores. Old time mentality. They couldn't keep up with the times. And unfortunately, like a lot of businesses, they are a casualty of yesteryear. You know, they have an old board of directors, old CEOs, and they never really crossed over to the internet realm. You know, people would rather in the confines of their home order online, and unfortunately, they never adapted to the times, just like Kmart and just like a lot of other stores. But salute to you all. Positivity is coming your way. I am going to drop the link. I just want to let you guys know today is a chill day. I'm not really going to get into a big monologue. You already know my stance on rap. It's gutter music. It's trash. I wouldn't, if I had a kid, I would never even introduce them to rap. Mm. It's low low vibration music. You got some good old school rap songs. I'm not gonna lie to you. You do have some timeless rap songs like Summertime, Will Smith, that upbeat kind of like hip hop. But other than that, rap is very vulgar. And especially drill rap. But we don't have to get in. I don't have to get into a big spill about that. My stance on it. Rap is trash. Let's see here. We have Leander in the building. Leander, salute to you, man. Positivity is definitely coming your way as usual, bro. Thank you so much for always coming to the channel. Thank you so much for always being here and supporting. For all of you who don't know, me and Leander go back to over 20 years. He's a good friend of mine, fraternity brother. Thank you so much, Leander, for always showing support. Thank you for being a member of the channel. And thank you for waking up early and tuning in all the way from the West Coast. SKC says, indeed it is. You can't get one from the other. No great classical composition is based off of rap. Rap is where music goes to die. I totally agree. I totally agree. Rap, to me, it sounds like nursery rhyme, Sesame Street, little simple beats. Whereas, you have a composition of raw music with classical music. You have different instruments being played, and you have, depending on the composer, depending on the ensemble, you may have a legendary ensemble. Think about somebody, a pianist, a violinist, somebody on bass. The trombone, whatever they call it. It's so many different instruments, and you have to be skilled at each instrument. It's almost like surgery to a degree. Rap to me is just boopity boop boop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. It sounds like monkey music, gorilla music, and you're in a bad neighborhood when you hear a lot of it resonating. Let me see. True Crime Maria says subjective opinion here, but it's hard to find a genre that's better than classical. The only modern music that compares is jazz. Yes, and old school jazz too, by the way, not new age, Kenny G. I'm talking about real jazz like Coltrane, and even before that, real jazz. Absolutely. And I will admit, jazz does run a close second to classical, but it's still second. Nothing beats classical, in my opinion. But again, this is an open panel today. You can call in, give your opinion on it as well. Ginger, what's up? Salute to you, Ginger. Positivity is definitely coming your way. I hope all is well with you and yours. Ginger has been a day one as well. Thank you so much, Ginger, for always coming through. I really appreciate you. Ginger is the master at white technology, by the way. And salute to you, Ginger. Thank you so much, Ginger, for always being here and supporting. Let me see who else is in the building. We got EAE in the building. Salute to you, EAE. Positivity is coming your way, EAE. I hope all is well with you and yours. EAE, what is your favorite genre of music? Or do you believe classical music is better than rap? I want to point out that 57% of you have said that classical music is better than rap music. Fear resides within us says can't really compare. Just choose out of preference. I'll choose rap in this case mainly because of the production, which features lots and lots of samples from jazz over classical music. Okay, okay, fear resides within us. Let me see. Guys, I want to thank you guys again for purchasing this Americano from Dunkin' Donuts. I really appreciate that. Positivity is definitely coming your guys' way. I hope all is well with you and yours. Let me see who else is in the building. Mm, who else is in the building? Okay. Got Leaked in the building. Positivity is coming your way. Leaked, I hope all is well with you and yours. Salute to you, man. Leaked, what is your favorite music as well? Let me see who else is in the building. Um, who else is in the building? Mama Carol is in the building. Mama Carol, what kind of music do you like? Do you like I don't know, rock? I don't know, jazz, and also is classical music better than rap music? Let's see here. Who else do we have in the building? By the way, Damn Deluxe says classical is for laying back and relaxing. Rap is used to get amped up before robbing the Nike store. Wow. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Um, you know, when you think of rap music, you do think of crime. You think of robberies, murders, and generally, when people are in the commission of committing a crime, it's some boopity boop rap playing. You know what I'm saying? Pop, 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 pop. It's always some rap music playing in the background. Typically at clubs, they get shot up. It's rap music being played. I never have heard of a symphony being shot up. I never heard of anything dealing with um, a compose. I never heard of John Williams giving beef or throwing beef at another composer like Hans Zimmer. Never. Let's see. V Dub Boogie, what's up, man? Positivity is coming your way. I hope all is well with you and yours. Let's see here. We got Astro Photo says classical music is better for our ethos. Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree with you. And salute to you, Astro Photos, for coming through. Thank you so much, BM, man. What's up, BM? How you doing? Positivity is coming your way. Says rap is trash in 2023. Good morning, CT in the chat. Yes, rap is trash. B&M. I see you in the back. Give me a second, man. Let me see who else is in the building. Flea Market says rap puts you in a hypnotic trance, demonic sub frequencies. Every song uses the same samples now. Yes, it does. And I don't want to give a lot of smoke to drill music because I grew up in the 90s and there was some horrific lyrics even in the 90s with gangster rap. I can name you 10 gangster rappers who have some of the most egregious lyrics known to man. Spice One, MC8, and the list goes on. The list goes on. Especially West Coast rap. Yeah, definitely. Let me see. This might be risky. Says need a haircut, my G. Yes, I do need a haircut. I need to call my barber. I do need a haircut. Thank you so much, man. Let me see. Smitty says one day CT pawned in all his black rhythm for a cup of coffee and a $5 holla. Let me see who else is in the building. Alexis, salute to you. Positivity is coming your way. We also have 777. 777, what's going on, man? What's up, Rush? How you doing, man?
Just wanted to spit a couple bars real quick.
Be careful. What's up, Rush, with the $2 super chat? Go ahead.
Yeah, no swearing. So this is a rap show. All right. I said my gun goes off. Pff, bite you. Shoot your neck. Sawed off like Jaws. Rah. Jump out the water like a shark fin. Hit you with my Mac 10. Now you laughing. I'm running down the street blasting. Cops chasing. What's that? Is that me racing? Yeah, bodies all over the floor, the wall. Hit you by when you running out the door. What? This is war. Are you ready for war? Ukraine, Russia, China, ninja, yeah. Whatcha? Yeah. Wah. Karate. Kick ya. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like. That's gonna be on my new record coming out in May.
So,
Yeah.
what say
Yeah.
you about classical music versus rap?
Classical music. I also have a classical album coming out in May. Also, it's just a quick. Can I play a quick snippet of it? Can I just sing it?
No, just sing it. Yeah, just
Okay,
sing it.
thank you. Manoriza Tony That'll be coming out in May. Also, that's my classical album. I think classical music is actually better than rap because it does something. They say that the megahertz, the megabytes, or something like that.
Yeah.
The something about the sound. And guys, please mods, make sure you put my link at the top here. Can you? I've been asking CT to drop my link in the chat for about a year now. I think that classical music gives you like a comfortable energy, and rap gives you the opposite. When I hear rap, I want to hurt somebody. I want to
Yeah.
hurt them. I want to stomp on them. I want to allegedly shoot them. I want to sell drugs. I want to really
Yeah.
just, not take care of my child.
Yeah.
Maybe give them a smack here and there. Be like, "What are you looking at? Suck a mother." You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
just feel like violent when I listen to rap.
Yeah. How
So
do you feel when you
classical,
listen to classical music?
sure, classical music makes me really. Yes, the name of my channel, Alexis 777 Radio. Thanks, CT, for posting the link that I asked you to do for a year.
Go ahead, sir.
Um,
Broach the topic. Broach the topic.
so I love. Thank you. Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to destroy your show. So classical music really makes me comfortable. It makes me calm down. It makes me have like a peace. You know what I mean? That peace that we're
Yeah.
all looking for. And rap music is the complete opposite. So we're talking about the yin and yang, pause. We're talking about two completely different genres of music and two different people. When I'm around people that listen to classical music,
Yeah.
I know that they're not going to, steal my cell phone, respectfully.
Go ahead, sir.
If you're listening to, yo, I'ma bust my gun to get it. If you ready, I shoot you. If you tall, if you a midget. Shout out to, you know what I mean? Shout out to my man that's doing 25 upstate, keeping them home. Yeah, the cracker's gonna lock you up. I bust your guts. Pause. I get uncomfortable when I hear that. If I get out of my car, and just like you said earlier, when I get out of my car and I hear, "You want to run around, clown, gun you down, bust off your dome," I go, okay, maybe I should go to the next store.
Do you think that there's a like rap to me is childish. It sounds like
Yeah,
nursery. It sounds like nursery rhymes.
I listen to it once in a while
Do
because
you
I
think
was
after a certain age you should age out of rap music or listening to rap music?
18 years old.
Okay.
You're right on. You're right on the money there. 18 years old. If you're still, I put my dope on the scale, running around. I got heavy weight. You could call me the whale. Yeah, if you're just listening to that and you're pulling up, to a normal place, or you're pulling up to work and your boss is outside, maybe smoking a cigarette, staring at you, and all you hear is like, "Yeah, watch out for the madman, gunning you, killing you down, running up in you. Oh, hey, girl, what's up? Let me get some head." Oh, yes, son. How are you? Give me a second.
Yeah, I mean, so the link is dropped, guys. We're just having a casual conversation. Angry Snowman says classical is played in 432 hertz, which is positive and uplifting, brighter and soothing, whereas 440 hertz, which is what music is recorded in, is more depressing and an unnatural tuning. Let's see here. True Crime Maria says, for me, with violent lyrics, I like to discern whether it is actual storytelling or if they are just promoting violence. Sometimes you can't tell a story without talking about experienced violence. I want to point out. Go ahead. Is he back? Okay, he's not back. I want to point out that according to science, it creates a calming effect. Classical music. When a baby is first born, playing classical style music, especially during naps, will help soothe and calm your little one. This is not just calming for infants. All young children and even adults tend to experience a sense of calm when listening to the sounds of classical music.
Very true.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie on here. I'm not gonna lie on the internet. I do like to listen to rap. I do
How old
listen
are
to
you
rap.
again?
I'm 37.
And you still listen to rap at 37?
Occasionally, yeah. When I'm, by myself, maybe I'm blasting it in the car. Maybe I'm just like
Mm.
really upset and I need to hear some, Pooh Shiesty. I might, I might have the 762 on the passenger seat allegedly, and I'm getting upset, and I need to hear some. You don't listen to rap, CT?
No, I think rap is very childish. It's silly.
If you're
Um,
gonna if you're gonna have sex with a woman, are you gonna listen? Are you gonna listen to classical music while you're in the act of sex, or would you be listening to rap music, sir?
well, to be completely honest with you, that's none of your business. But I don't. I never thought about it like that. But go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna smash out a Tatiana listening to maybe Blueface. I don't know. I might listen to Blueface maybe once in a while too. He's an interesting character in the streets. I do like rap music because it's for the kids, and if
Yeah.
you want to listen to it, that's your choice. I believe in it's your choice to listen to whatever you want to listen to, no matter what your true age is. Also, my mic is muted, and I digress.
What's up, Smitty? Smitty, what is better between classical music and rap, sir? Go ahead, sir.
Respect. Salute,
What's
CT.
going
Am
on?
I coming through clear? I'm not glitchy.
It's not super
Am
clear,
I
but it's
clear?
fine. It's fine. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, one, there is no better. Personally, I listen to both. I'm an artist. So when I'm doing stone carvings and wood carvings, when I'm sketching, you better believe I love a good symphony. Now, I am an artist myself as far as I did hip hop, I have music on YouTube. I mean, you can look it up anytime. But my point is, uh what you're saying about hip hop is not completely true, sir. I'm sorry. No. Because when you say that, you have to remember there are artists like, for example, I don't think about shooting or killing nobody when I hear Common and Most Def. I don't think about killing people when I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening to Black Thoughts and the Roots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have to remember that now, mind you, right? Rap
Mm-hmm.
is not no ABC nothing. Try. Try to continuously almost tell a story or describe something and continuously make words rhyme. And you're not just making words rhyme, you're putting it in a sequence. That is
Mm-hmm.
not easy to do. Now,
Mm-hmm.
poetry and rap also go hand in hand. So you got to remember, rap really kind of started from a poetry aspect.
Mm.
Now, I will agree. Believe me, as I'm 40, but I definitely mark my words when I tell you I hate rap nowadays. I don't listen to it for real. Now, you want to ask me what I listen to? I listen to a lot of alternative. I listen to a lot of old school music. I listen to more back in the day, all different genres. I'm talking about everything from a Blue Oyster Cult, REM, Sting and the Police, all the way down to Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Bone Thugs and Harmony, you name it. My reggae, all of that. But music in its entirety, all genres of music, country, reggae, R&B, rap, all of it is very, very much so fraudulent. Is very much so fast food. Music used to be like a home cooked meal. Now it's like a drive through. So I
Mm.
just want to say, on behalf of hip hop lovers and listeners, no, CT, you are completely wrong, sir, on that.
Mm.
You
Okay.
Wow.
move. Well, no, not completely wrong. You've made some points, but it's nah, bro. Nah, bro. Hip hop, because wait, and last but not least, that's why for the longest there's been a difference between hip hop and rap. There's a difference between hip hop, rap, and gangster
Mm-hmm.
music. See, even that has its category. So depending on which category, you only talking about the NWO. Yeah, I'm surprised you know about Spice One. What you know about that Spice? Okay,
Know a lot
sir.
about Spice
But
One. Yeah, know a lot
nah,
about
man.
Spice.
Everything isn't that. Yeah, nah,
Okay.
nah. Oh yeah,
I think
1996.
Common
Oh yeah,
is
come on now.
okay.
You taking it back
I
like
think
that?
Common is trash. I think Common was trash. I think
I
Tribe
digress. My
Called
mic is
Quest.
muted.
Thank you. Finally, I
Triple
think.
Seven. Hold on for a second, man. We gotta get other people in.
Oh, go ahead,
Barnabas.
Barnabas.
Sorry,
Barnabas
DMT.
didn't pay his light bill.
DMT was actually the next. DMT, classical music versus rap, sir. Go ahead.
You talking to me?
Fellas? Good morning. Good morning.
ahead,
Look, man, I try to consider myself a music connoisseur. I come from a family of music. My grandfather was a famous rhythm and blues singer back in the day. I think there's a time and place for everything. Like obviously, I grew up on rap. I like a lot of the rap artists. I like my hip hop history. I don't have a problem with rap. Now, I do think it's become diluted over the years. I think gangster rap has kind of come to the forefront, and that's what everybody thinks of when they think of rap. They think of drill, they think of trap, things like that. I think that sort of rap is what is polluting our community. I don't think that rap is productive, but there are many rap artists out there that I can resonate with that actually have a message, that actually have good wordplay, that actually can put stuff together like Smitty was talking about, and it's like poetry. Like, people like Mick Jenkins, like I don't think many people heard of Mick Jenkins. He's from Chicago, and he raps like you wouldn't normally hear a Chicago artist rap. They think of drill, but Mick Jenkins is like a poet. Like
right,
play words is just amazing.
Andre 3000, Lupe Fiasco, it goes on.
Yeah, all these guys. If you're listening to that subs, I call it conscious rap. It should just be rap, but I call it conscious rap because these are people that are actually rapping with a productive message, and they're kind of conveying. Like even Mick Jenkins can tell the street story because he grew up in the South Side of Chicago. He saw everything the drill rapper saw, but his perspective on it is different. The way he talks about it is not from, oh, I'm going to run up and kill you. It's like he had a line, and he was like, he was talking about like the GDs and gangsters, but he's like a neutral, and he didn't have no gun on him, so he's kind of like out there alone by himself because he's a neutral type of person. So I like classical. Like I listen to classical and I study. That's what when I want to be in a mood where I'm kind of just creative, where I want to really focus on something, I'll play some classical. I have no problem playing some classical. I'll even play some saxophone sounds. I'll play some Kenny G, anything like that. I think there's a time and place for different genres of music. Now I do gangster rap though. I don't think where it's evolved to is anything that people should be listening to, especially your children. Drill was demonic. I watched how drill polluted an entire generation, my generation. Like drill was very demonic. Like what to go in a song and say, we slide on the ops, I'm gonna shoot you, then I'm gonna smoke you, and then you name them in the song, and like parents of these children you talking about in the song gotta listen to this. Like that to me is demonic.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
CT, to that? Let me just add to what DMT was saying. Sorry to interrupt you, Smitty.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Just real quick. Sorry to interrupt you guys. I would just say that respectfully, and I'm not trolling, I think drill music and what's going on, and shout out to Chief Keef, which originated drill music, I believe. And then New York stole it.
He made it probably.
I'm not arguing with you, sir. Thank you. So he originated it and brought it to the mainstream, and then New York stole it, and we have our own type of drill music in New York, which I believe is better. But I think that what drill music is doing is really pulling the weeds out of society, and allegedly if they die from it or get shot, these kids are the worst kids on the face of the planet, and they deserve to be killed. Respectfully, my mucus mighted. I digress.
Barnabas, what say you, sir? Is classical music better than rap?
I'm going to call you out. I think you're out here faking. I think you're a closeted rap fanatic.
Okay.
And that you go to your house, you wait for your wife to leave, you put your headphones on, you turn the lights out, and you listen to rap on 10 in your headphones, driving around having like NWA fantasies of being a gangster. And I think you're trying to like present to the world that you're some type of intellectual, smart person. Like, ooh, look at me. I listen to classical music.
I think that's very disrespectful, Barnabas.
Let him finish. I can't hear.
Don't disrespect CT.
I do think
I can't hear him, man.
You might as well, and you might as well just couple on top of that. Put your little, Divine Nine, whatever all that stuff is. Put a little flag in the back, and then put like a chessboard behind you, and try to really pretend like you're smart. But you're not fooling me. I can see right through you.
Okay, well, to answer, so thank you for making your assessment of me, but what do you think, sir? Is classical music better than rap?
It's all subjective. Better as graded through what? The CT grading scale?
I'm asking you, sir. I have no grading scale.
Well, then how can we assess something if we don't know what the assessment criteria is?
Why don't you create your own metric? What say you, sir?
Better. I mean, how do you say better? Better for what? I mean, I'm not a big rap fan. I'm not going to lie, but I do have a new rap. I have my eye on a new artist, actually, and her name is Sexy Red. And with your permission, I'd like to quote some of her lyrics. Are you ready?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
My coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
That's fire.
So let me ask you this.
I don't understand. The first line is, I'm out of town. I don't really know what she's saying. Maybe someone can help me out. She says,
"So let me ask you this:
I'm out of town, thugging with my round. I don't know what that means. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. So where the ninjas come for the hose, I need a ninja to suck a girl's toe."
The fact you had listen to the entire song.
If you had kids, Barnabas, would you allow your kids to listen to rap to that song?
I don't have kids. So I don't worry about
that. If you had kids.
If I had kids, I mean, I can make a lot of assumptions, but people think and they go into things with the best intentions, but when they're actually in it, it's like, wow, life didn't really pan out the way I expected. And I don't know, maybe I'd have front row seats to Sexy Red with my daughter.
How come there's no shootouts at classical music events like orchestras and fights?
I could answer this one.
Because they're old people.
I can answer
old people.
So young people don't go to classical. So young people don't go to compositions or symphonies.
Well, let's just keep it real, guys. I mean, young guys. Let's just keep it real and stop fronting up here. Young and middle-aged white folks don't shoot each other. Okay, let's just keep it real.
They pay taxes, so the cops shoot for them.
Let SKC get in real quick.
Hold up. They pay taxes, so the cops shoot people for them.
SKC, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, CT?
What's up? Classical music or rap, sir?
Oh man, it's obvious. Classical for me. I do understand when people can try to make the argument and say that it would be subjective, but there's a lot of other metrics and results that you can add into that picture to give a fuller thought about it all. Like I remember when I saw that you were streaming about this, I was thinking about some different ideas. Rap actually sheds it puts a spotlight on a lot of hypocrisy within Black America. And let me give you two reasons real quick.
Go ahead, sir.
Black people can parse out rap when rap is involved. Like they can parse out all of the stuff, like all of the guys that were previously speaking, they could tell you, oh yeah, even though there's overwhelmingly all of these bad messages within blacks, there's good ones. There's good ones. And they can go in and they can give you the details of each of those quote unquote good rappers or what they appreciate about what they're doing. However, they can't do that on other subjects like police. Even though we know that the majority of police are not going around shooting and killing Black people.
Go ahead.
See, it's a stark contrast. Another one would be how
that's not true.
Black people can go into a deep, intimate details about the historicity of hip hop, rap, and so forth, but you can't do the same for American history. You can't look at
Give,
the
give,
nuance
give an
and different
example. I know
things.
what you're talking about, but give one example for the crowd.
Okay. Yeah, as a quick example, Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
People will sit up and, from Black Girl Magic, they have her as a Black Girl Magic slave releaser and so forth. But when we look at a more nuanced look at that, we obviously have to understand that Harriet Tubman could not have accomplished anything without the help of a lot of white people, the
Well,
abolitionists.
she was a prostitute also.
But it doesn't matter. Whatever she was doing, she would not have been able to accomplish it without the help of a lot of white people. And they had a lot more to lose than she did.
Mm.
They were already free. They were actually breaking the law. Their families were involved in all of that. And what did they get in return? Could she pay them? See, it's things like that of which Black people can go into all of the details about rap and tell you all of the intimate details of this rapper and that rapper and what beef and all of this stuff. And, oh, you don't really know the real of this and that. But then on something like history, no.
Uncut Underground with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, y'all lucky I cannot join the panel right now. Thank you so much again, Uncut Underground. SKC, why do 40 and 50-year-old people listen to rap?
To a certain extent, I think that they're mentally stuck.
Go ahead.
There's, and I'm not saying that just within just rap music. Sometimes people get mentally stuck into other brands of music as well. But one thing that I've noticed within the Black community is like you have a lot of people who they've been basically trying to keep up with younger styles of thinking.
Yeah.
It's very it's almost like it's I'll just throw this out there.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
What great mind, inventor, educator, so forth, that frequently comes up and says, I was listening to this such and such, and it inspired me to do this. It's like, come on.
I've
And
never
when
heard
people
anybody say that about rap ever.
Right. And when people
Yeah.
grow and progress, you got to leave some things behind. And,
Yeah.
that's why you have a lot of people who, it's like the same thing with certain modes of thinking, and it breaks into a lot of other things, attire, all the type of stuff. So, yeah, I don't want to hog everything. So go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Real quick.
I have another question for you. Why aren't there? And I may have already asked you this, but why aren't there any shootings? Well, not that. Why isn't John Williams beefing with Hans Zimmer?
Well,
how come composers don't beef with each other?
Well, think about the level of difficulty that is required in order to get into certain fields. Like, take for instance, what was the guy? I think there was the white guy that has the headphones on. He was saying something about some chick that was talking about her coochie and her booty hole, and she's known and all this other.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like, all right, but think about what it would take in order for a person to join a symphony, a grand symphony at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a person who is put in no less than, because I have some people on my wife's side of the family who do play classical music. You're talking about not the 10,000 hour requirement, 40,000 hours.
Yeah.
Of
And
experience.
And a lot of those symphonies have board of directors that are funded by, millionaires, people of all types of professions, like being doctors, etc. So you have a different class of people that are monitoring and controlling these orchestras. Yeah, go ahead.
And basically the barrier of entry is higher in classical than it is for a lot of rap.
So let me ask you this: Is it that other forms of music, for example, like rap, are sort of like primitive music compared to classical music, like primitive to a degree?
Absolutely.
I won't
cut me
go
off.
in and say primitive. I think that
Mm.
there can be some value in understanding wordplay, um, uh, poetry, the different forms of uh, idiomatic rhyming and so forth. I think there's a lot that can be accomplished with it, but when you put it in the hands of it, it's like putting a cell phone, a brand new iPhone or a brand new Samsung in the hands of um, a kid who's only interested in sex and drugs. It's like
Yeah.
there's certain people who can create movies on iPhones, and the others they're just gonna twerk with them. So I mean, it's like it is what it
Mm.
is.
This might be risky. Thank you so much, SKC. This might be risky, sir. What salute, sir? We're having a conversation between classical music and rap, and which one is better. I believe classical music is. I think it's the best form of music at period, and I believe that. I mean, really, there's really no close second other than maybe jazz. And my take on rap is gutter music. It's for really children. But go ahead, sir.
So when you say better, like you prefer to listen to it, like if you riding down the street in your car, better,
Of course, I
or
prefer.
are you saying the skill it takes to create classical music?
Oh, everything. The skill it takes, the regalness behind it, driving down the street, walking and listen. I walk and listen to classical music. Oh yeah,
Really?
absolutely. Oh, of course, of course.
You
It's
so
just
what do
it's a refined type of music.
so when you go to Zanzibar, what do you request classical music?
No, they play soul music, which I don't mind. I don't mind soul music.
So like what? Like Anthony
Like,
Hamilton?
like well, funk music from back in the day.
Like the
Funkadelics.
Parliament? Like the Parliament?
They play that kind of music, yeah, like
So
soul
tear the
music.
tear the roof off this motherfucker. We tear the roof
They
off.
don't play. I mean, I'm pretty sure
Hold on, CT. Oh, baby boy,
Some
don't
of the curse words was
back
edited
up
out,
a little bit.
but no, that kind of music is still good too, though. I mean, but it's not on
Okay.
par with classical music, though.
Okay,
I don't
but
tell
so
them
you
that.
enjoy other genres.
Of course I do, but I don't. I would never go into an establishment and say change the music in here. No, you get for you wherever you go. That's what you get. If I go to a soul food restaurant, I'm gonna get soul black music. If I go to some country little diner, I'm gonna get country music. I don't mind it.
So
And who the hell am I to say change the music? I don't want to listen to this. Get out of here.
so
Go ahead.
who's your favorite rapper though? I just want to get some
My
understanding.
favorite rapper of all time is Jay-Z.
Hove. Okay.
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt. In My
Yeah.
Lifetime, Life and Times. The guy came out with classic after classic, man. But anyway, go ahead.
So I just want to understand. You was telling me you would prefer to listen to classical music over Reasonable Doubt? No way.
Okay. Hold on for a second. Now, let me read the super chat real quick. Hold on. Let me read the super chat. I want to answer you real quick. Okay, let me read the
When
super
you
chat.
get done, CT, I want to make one statement.
Yep.
That's it.
Big Time with the $5 super chat said, according to AK Nation News, 150 to 200 rappers are toe tagged per year. What was your statement, Smitty? Go ahead, sir.
true.
Thank you so much, Big Time.
Do you not know how many times Kanye has listened to classical music and that has, like, what I'm saying, what brother was saying right here, I forgot your name, my bad, bro, but like the intricacy. Andre 3000, like, he's personally my favorite hip hop artist because I don't know nobody else who could like sing, play multiple instruments, rhyme,
Well, he's gay.
poetry,
He's gay, though.
and act. Like, come
Let's
on, you know, whatever, man. So listen, what I'm saying is that, long story short, the intricacy that it takes to continuously like really make hip hop music, unless you've done it, I don't think you understand. You listening to it and thinking it's easy because the great ones can make it sound easy, just like people who orchestrate symphonies.
And
Well,
and
I digress.
also
My mic is muted.
and also the point that he brought up about the preference of what you would like to listen to, basically Jay-Z over classical, is actually a red herring. It's the same as someone saying, you know what, which one is basically it doesn't go into the intrinsic value of what's being discussed.
No,
A lot of people,
SKC.
a
So
lot of
one
people,
thing,
if
one
I can
thing.
finish,
No,
a lot of
Well,
people, a
well,
lot of
one
people
thing though.
prefer to listen to
You
look at The
said
Simpsons,
something that wasn't
but they
actually
obviously
related
know
to what
that
I was
Shakespeare is
saying,
more
though.
important than The
Well,
No,
Simpsons.
but you,
if
that's
I
not the
can answer,
conversation, though.
if I
But
can
and
answer,
so, well, hold on, chaotic, because Smitty jumped in, made his statement. We were having a conversation, and then SKC's gonna say something. I wasn't even trying to see like what the value was. I just wanted to see what you liked.
well, the reason why I prefer to listen to Reasonable Doubt, right, over Mozart is because Reasonable Doubt invokes childhood memories. It invokes memories of when I first got my car and I'm driving around the city, going to high school. We used to listen to Reasonable, even though it was 3 years old or 4 years old at the time.
Yeah.
It brings up nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in terms of comparing the two, you can't compare Jay-Z to Mozart. They're two different types of artists, etc. But in terms of nostalgia, yes, I would rather listen to Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, because of nostalgia. But in terms of if I want to be inspired, I would rather listen to Requiem of a Dream by Mozart.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
That's-
if I want to be inspired, is that and the other. But
Yeah.
but go ahead.
I think it
Pastor. Go ahead.
depends on what you want to be inspired by. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I just always wonder is why, when we're talking about music, it has to have some type of intrinsic value. Why can't it just be entertainment? Like CT, when you start talking about Star Trek, you know the ins and outs of that because you're entertained by it, you're intrigued by it, you're alpha, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the nerdy nature of it. So it just like, but so why isn't music the same thing? Like SKC was talking
it's
about,
easy.
people know the ins and outs of music so much, but they like it, they enjoy it, right? They're
It's
inspired by
easy. It's very easy. Just like when you brought up the thing about Star Trek, because it has universal values that are timeless.
It doesn't. It's sci-fi, sir. Respectfully, and he played you by calling it nerdy.
Hold on for a second. Let this might be risky finish. Go ahead. This might be risky.
Yeah, no, I mean, boy jumped in. I can't see who's talking chaotic because you got the Kanye's trash up there for the last 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, let me take that down. Kanye is trash, by the way. He doesn't know how to play any instrument. He's trash.
Yeah, and I get that people are inspired by music, but I just hate the fact that nobody get mad because Arnold Schwarzenegger can't fight for real. But he in every single action movie in the world, but like he don't have to prepare. He don't live like that.
Sir, he would whoop you down, Risky. Come on.
Maybe
At 70 years old, he would give you a beating.
Hey, listen, I've been beat up before. It's possible, but it's gonna take all you got.
He's
Wait,
tough.
He's right. Jean-Claude Van Damme got beat up in the bar. Jean-Claude got beat up, and I was shocked because I was a huge Jean-Claude fan, and I was disappointed to know that man couldn't fight. That was so disappointing.
I guess
He
the
was
difference.
drunk. He was drunk.
I guess the difference is this might be
Mhm.
risky. Is
Yes, sir.
we have a lot of kids now that are very impressionable,
Yeah.
and we know that a club where they're playing rap or an event where they're playing rap can lead to certain acts of violence, whereas at an orchestra you don't see stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
don't see violinists smacking the shit out of the person who played bass or people in the crowd. You don't see that. You don't see the composer looking back and saying, "Y'all shut the F up while I'm do." You don't see them doing that. And that's what I'm saying. So I understand what you're saying about the movies, this, that, and the other. But when Arnold Schwarzenegger takes that Terminator makeup off, he's out of character. Whereas a lot of these rappers are always in character.
Yeah.
A lot of times. I think that's what my argument is. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, like I said, in my opinion, I just believe that classical is better.
Yeah.
And I think rap again is just
Hey,
for
CT, I might be reaching on this one. I might be reaching CT, but wasn't Lincoln shot at was Lincoln shot at a rap concert?
Sir, that was one person. That was one person.
Lincoln was actually shot at a
And
play.
it was at a play.
It was at a play. It was at a first of all, it was at a play, and it was at a tumultuous time within the country. So we can't blame the play or the music for what happened to him. We just can't do it. I get where you're coming from.
Why?
Yeah,
Well, why can you blame it on rap music then? Why can you blame one and not the other? Apply the same standard.
because again, you and I both know why Lincoln was assassinated. It was highly political. He would have got snuffed out
Nah,
anyway.
them violins got to going off. It was
There
rushing
were
through
no
that man
there
blood.
were
He
no
said, "I'm gonna get
violence
up and
because
go." Them violins.
it was a play. It was no violence. Hold on for a second. Let me get
Yeah, there
pretty
were
sure they
violence
was
because
playing
they
music
didn't
during that
have
play,
records
sir.
back then.
Let me
There
hold
were
on for a second.
violence to play the
But
music.
Barnabas, it was a play. It wasn't a symphony. Again, so I get what you're saying. There may have been somebody in the background playing music, but that's not the reason why he was killed. The person, John Wilkes Booth, wasn't amped up by the music to kill him. He was amped up by political motives to kill him. So he would have killed him any damn way. He would have killed him at the damn the corner
John Booth,
store.
right?
Yeah, John Booth. What's up, Afro Nerd? You were next, and because you had came up before everybody else, and then you dropped off. Afro Nerd, what's up, man?
Hey man, what's up? Let me say
Classical
this.
music or rap?
Well, look,
I gotta drop somebody because Chuck is actually on camera, so I gotta drop somebody who's not on camera. But go ahead, Afro Nerd. Go ahead. Man.
Okay, what I'm going to say this quickly is you can make an argument, obviously, that classical music bodies rap music because rap music is low frequency music. I mean, just in general, right? In general. However, you can make a larger argument about pop music versus classical music. Rap music would probably be on the lower end of pop music. The issue is what musical genre elevates itself. Jazz music in the 1920s and the 30s was considered jungle music.
Yeah,
that was a racially derivative description of jazz music. When you would hear on the radio someone like Duke Ellington or his composer, right-hand man Billy Strayhorn, listen to the jungle rhythms of Duke Ellington. Now we could go forward 70 years. Duke Ellington is perhaps one of the greatest composers of American music.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Jazz music comes out of Storyville, Louisiana, out of the brothels of it. Jazz music was the street music of its day. Jazz music was the hip hop of its day in theory. But now you fast forward, it's played before kings and queens. It's studied at Harvard. It's a completely different thing. You could make an argument that blues music has kind of its kind of underworld origins. The basis of a lot of American music that's put in high regard now, even rock and roll to a certain degree is kind of elevating itself a bit, is tied to the early black underbelly. Rap music hasn't really made that pivot. There's a part of rap music that, if you got away from all this gangsterism and the way that the commercial end of it is playing itself out, where it's coming off like it's very much programming for black failure. If that wasn't in existence and there was a room for it to elevate the way that jazz and blues and country and rock are elevating, then we might have a different conversation. That's not happening. So this lower tier, lower grade, low frequency music is a problem. And like you said, I on my show, I had a gentleman who just passed about 6 months ago. He was a classical music critic. Rest in peace, Sergio Mims out of Chicago. He would go in depth about this thing. Even that there are even black performers in classical music that no one's highlighting. I could make an argument I mentioned to you before. Afro-punk is a growing musical thing going on from Brooklyn to South Africa and all of that. No one's shooting out at a black rock concert. No, I mean, this is black rock music. No one's shooting. Educated black folks as well as hipsters, everyone's getting along. There's a specific thing about gangster drill music that is problematic that many African Americans and others are co-signing as if this is normal. It is programming like Lenny Riefenstahl or anything else. It's program failure, period.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Black Thoughts with the $2 super chat says blacks can't separate entertainment from real life. And Big Time says, thank you again, Big Time and Black Thoughts. Big Time says, does the pivot involve confessing to homicides? Thank you guys so much for all the super chats. Chicago Rilla, what say you, sir? Is classical music better than rap?
No, and I think it's an unfair assessment because you're talking about two different things. I think you were more on point when you said the close second to classical is
It's
jazz
jazz.
music, but I could
Yeah.
even argue that jazz is better than classical
Mm,
music, right?
really? Go
Um,
ahead.
yeah, it depends because what I do see, what I do appreciate, and I've tried to get, I'm an audiophile. I've tried to get into classical multiple times. I just can't. But I also know that I'm not genuinely a creative in the sense of, like, I heard you guys mention Andre 3000 and Kanye listening to classical and being inspired, but these guys also listen to a number of sources to get inspired. Let me say this about hip hop or rap music in particular, because I forget the gentleman that was just commenting, and he was saying how classical and jazz are taught at the highest levels. I can't remember where Nas's fellowship is. It's either Princeton or Harvard, right? But Nas has a fellowship in Ivy League, right? Tupac is being taught Ivy
It's
League.
Harvard. I'm a
Um,
huge Nas fan. Harvard.
Mm.
okay, fair, bro. But wait, hold on.
Go
I
ahead,
didn't
brother.
interrupt you.
Go
So
ahead, brother.
fair enough. But you didn't mention that. You made it seem like hip hop is not being taught. Lupe Fiasco is literally teaching the scientifics of hip hop at MIT, right? So I get it. The conversation, I guess, is more centered around like drill music. Same way in the 90s we would have centered around gangster rap. And let me say for the record, CT, I
Mhm.
agree with you. C. Dolores Tucker was right.
She
I did
was.
not like it when I was a shorty. I did not like it. I
Most
didn't
people
like
did.
it.
Yeah.
Clearly Tupac didn't like it, but she was absolutely right. And
Can
the
I
other
actually?
thing is
Mhm.
somebody else just mentioned this, and I'll pipe down.
No,
Somebody
you
else
good.
just said, something about hip or rap music as if it doesn't have the power to influence. And it's like, well, we can't understand that it's just entertainment. I would say, I would curse, but uh, that's crap. Because when you look at the grunge era and the influence that emo rock music had over those kids who reflected those people's image, I would guarantee you there's a correlation between behaviors and deletion rates to that grunge music of that time.
Mm.
Music absolutely has the power to influence. I don't know why we keep just doing this one to one and not understanding the nuanced conversation that we should be having. Now, what I would say, instead of focusing on drill because we sound like the old men, like get off my yard or get off my lawn, we should focus on the artists that are those kids' age that are doing the Sabas, the No Names, the Sminos, the Chance the Rappers, the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamars. Like, we should focus on those artists and support their efforts. Here you have a guy like Lecrae that did 4 volumes of Church Clothes, trying to bridge the gap between Christianity or spirituality and hip hop and so on and so forth. And he's done it in a real way that relates to these kids, right? We should be championing these guys instead of just being focused on the 21 Savages, the Lil Durks, the Lil Pumps, and all the other Lils as well. But to your point, Chaotic,
Can I ask you
I
this?
can go into economically how
Mhm.
hip hop or rap music is better than classical. But go ahead.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, well, classical still sells at a high rate, especially in Europe. Now, I don't have the numbers. If you can bring them up, that'd be fine. But I do have to ask you a question. You don't you you do believe that universities have a large enough endowment so they can just funnel money into programs and funnel money even into underwater basket weaving programs, right?
I would not disagree with that. Go
Okay, so you obviously respect the genre of rap, but what if somebody
ahead.
were to argue me? What if somebody were to argue and say, well, I mean, all right, so they got Lupe Fiasco at MIT, but MIT isn't
Mhm,
known for rap music. It's known for its technological and scientific pursuits and
mhm,
its illustrious
mhm,
graduates. I mean, we could look at that as just, hey man, they got
mhm.
enough money to put into some underwater basket weaving degree little class. You don't look at it like
No,
that?
no. So you missed what I said. It's funny that you say that because
Mhm.
what I specifically said is Lupe is teaching a class on the scientifics of hip hop or rap
Oh, there's
music.
science involved. So he uses the scientific method. Right?
There is a science. Well, if you listen to like a Joe Budden, Royce, people who are lyricists and MCs, they absolutely make the argument in terms of Lupe and his skill set when it comes to pairing words and doing double, triple entendres and stuff
But
like that. Go ahead.
okay. Well, just respectfully, and I'm not knocking you. You say that he introduces science into it. Is there any peer-reviewed article that can substantiate this claim?
That part I don't know. That program
Mm.
that he's doing is still it's
Sounds like
still
pseudoscience.
new.
Pseudoscience.
It could be, but so your argument would be that, hey, MIT got enough money to throw at, a Black Lives Matter cause. So,
Yeah.
let's give Lupe. Yeah, I would disagree. I think that Lupe's skill set, I think his renown as a lyricist and as somebody who is refined and particular about his craft, he's warranted that opportunity, right? Like, so no, I would slightly push back. I don't think it was a underwater basket. I don't think it's that, but I could be wrong. I doubt it. I've seen some of his clips online. I would highly encourage you to take a look at it, because I would love to hear your breakdown of what he presents in class, because it's not the hip, the hop, the hibby to the hibby to hop, you don't stop the rock. It's not that. He's breaking stuff down and challenging the students to think through. Go ahead.
Big Time with the $2 super chat says Harvard's endowment is over $50 billion a year. Yes, it's one of the largest endowments out of all universities on the planet. Thank you so much, Big Time. Chicago Rilla, let me ask you this though. You mentioned grunge.
Hey, wait, Chaotic. Can I wait, Chaotic? Because I'm old and I might lose this thought. Can I say this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we also know that Jay-Z just performed at the Louis Vuitton Foundation too, right, in Paris over this past weekend or the weekend before that.
Sure.
We also know that Nas did a whole performance for Illmatic, and keep in mind, Nas wrote Illmatic at 17, right?
Oh, Illmatic is a
he
masterpiece. I mean, that's without a doubt.
Okay, so he did that. He did that performance, which I have on vinyl. Yeah. At where? Lincoln Center.
Okay.
So let's not act like I don't. And here's the crazy thing, Chaotic. I'll be honest with you. I think if we're not careful about gatekeeping the culture and the art form and holding a higher standard to people actually being masterful in their craft, man, 20 years from now, we will be having parades and think tanks on a Chief Keef. You understand what I'm saying? Or on a Soulja Boy. Like trying to break down these lyrics. And I'm gonna tell you why, because one of the most, Project Pat just did a concert here at the House of Vans. One of the most prominent people here, and he doesn't look like us. He's not my skin complexion. But he was the main curator for that. And I was just like, okay. So now you're introducing Project Pat to a whole nother generation of people. Go ahead, my bad, bro.
Oh no, I was going to say
music's meant to be gate kept though.
You mentioned
yes.
mentioned grunge.
Wait, hold on. Yes, it is. Yes. Hold on. Okay. Yes, it is. When you was one form of gatekeeping, when I was coming up, if you said you was a rapper or MC, the reason why MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, all these other what's the old boy name off the West Coast, Young MC, the reason why they got skewered was because there was a form of gatekeeping that said, I could tell you didn't put time into the craft. Yes.
Meant to be gate kept, dude.
You mentioned Rilla, real quick. Man, you mentioned Richard Rilla. You mentioned was it emo music? Would you be would you be willing to find lyrics where you said grunge music, emo music? You said.
Let's say I'm thinking Nirvana specifically, but go ahead.
Would you mind finding lyrics where Nirvana is telling people about murders, about grapes, about some of the things that rap music does? Would you? Because look, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think it's. But that's where the conversation gets disingenuous, because it's not a one-to-one, right? In the same way that that grunge era.
But
and what I was saying was,
really,
I was speaking to the influence though, Chaotic.
I know. Look. I already gave my opinion. Listen, we all could be wrong here. You could be right. All I'm saying is, you said that you would be willing to bet that murders and things like that went up in the white community by them listening to that.
Oh yeah.
I would like to ask you if it's possible, since you seem to be a resident person who is in music. would you be willing to find lyrics from Nirvana that pretty much talk about murders, drive-bys, selling dope to the community? Would you be willing to do that? I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just asking you, would you be willing to do that?
Chaotic. No, Nirvana doesn't have music that promoted murders and drive-bys.
I didn't.
Music
Okay,
that they
I
did.
wouldn't know, but you had mentioned it. So you had mentioned something.
You was.
So what do? So what does? So what does? So no, but I'm asking. No, seriously. But so what does Nirvana do that is deemed negative? Then what do they do?
Right. So what it is, it's the same as blues and country music, but at the level for like Nirvana and that whole grunge scene. And I remember these being big story headlines in my day. The emotion of the music, the tonality of the artist wailing, and most of it was about, and I would say some of those artists were real poets in that day. I'm talking about grunge in particular, because it was never a go, do this to yourself. It wasn't that. It was tapping into the emotions of what I felt and using a lot of code language. Now, I'm not in a position to pull up anything now, but you're actually encouraging me to finish this paper that I was writing.
Yeah, just put it up
about the influence and impacts of music.
Yeah, just put it up, because like I said, I don't know about Nirvana. I've heard like maybe a song or two, but just put it up if you can, substantiate your claim.
I mean, you can do Smell Like Teen Spirit. You could do Smells Like Teen Spirit, which actually Robert Glasper, a jazz musician, did a great rendition of, sir.
Were there any shootouts at Nirvana concerts?
No. May have been a few mosh pits. Might have been a couple of what do you call it when you mosh pit? No, like when you inflict pain upon yourself, like with the razors and stuff like that. I forget what that's called.
Okay. Angry Snowman,
might have been a lot more of that.
Angry Snowman, what's up, man? Classical music or rap, sir? You're on mute, Angry Snowman.
Oh, I think that it's kind of hard to compare the two, to be honest with you. It's two entirely different genres. They're really not comparable. Honestly, it's like trying to compare apples to car motors.
Which one you prefer?
One feeds off the other.
In a sense, yeah, but but it's still, they're two different genres of music. I mean, that's like saying that because rock and roll feeds off of rhythm and blues, that it's comparable to rhythm and blues when they're two entirely different genres of music. That's why I said music can't be gatekept, because all music inspires music. Music is, one style of music may inspire another style of music, and music is just meant to be enjoyed by everybody. It's not meant to be gatekept, in my opinion, to the person that said that it's supposed to. The one thing I will say is, I do think that music does have a way of subliminally suggesting people do things, whether it be through the frequency that it's played in, whether it be through the words that are said, whether it be through the beat that's being used to, as some say, drill a message into your head. I do think that music does actually influence, especially young, impressionable minds. It really does. I will say that there's one thing that I do find interesting is, rap music. It does seem like it does inspire young kids to be a little bit more violent today than what it used to when we were younger, for whatever reason. You look at a lot of rock and roll and metal shows. They're known for mosh pits and, kids going out there and just beating the bloody crap out of each other in pits. But what you don't see is them going out and shooting each other up in those pits. That's one thing you don't see. You do, and you see that they have a certain level of there's a certain level of respect in the pit, that once somebody's to a point to where they can't jump around, you stop messing around with them. People try and help them up and get them out. So as far as the lyrics to songs, I could think of probably a couple dozen rock and roll and grunge songs, where they were not necessarily talking about going out and killing people per se, but talking about kids lashing out, like the lyrics to Jeremy from Pearl Jam, where he's talking about a kid that grew up without a dad paying attention. He got picked on all the time, so he took a pencil, stabbed somebody with it. There's Nirvana. The song "Polly" is about a serial killer that was going out and murdering young girls in Seattle at the time. That's what that song's actually about. You got Manson songs where he just talks about just blatant, evil and satanic shit all the time, and a lot of his music. So to say one style of music when it comes to lyrics is, I'm Twisted Sister. That's another band. They were actually they were at Senate hearings because their music was, when they were trying to do band music, they were part of that whole music band that what was it? What's the name of that band that Ice Cube and all them were in? NWA. He was part of that whole music censorship lawsuit. With the Senate hearings and everything back in the late '80s, early '90s. He was part of what's his name? Anyhow, I'm just saying, music itself, it's all in how you take it. I know that dude wasn't lying when he said that there were a lot of kids that listened to grunge music that committed suicide. You've heard me say it multiple times, CT, before, that when I was a kid, when it came to listening to grunge music, shit from the '90s, as far as like Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. That was music to go sit in your room, smoke weed in a corner, and slit your wrist to. And it was because it was depressing. It really was a lot of that grunge music. It was very, very depressing music, but it was because it was. I think a lot of that was it was because it was Gen Xers singing about their life during Generation X, and a lot of us were, a lot of us kids were lonely and didn't have nobody to hang out with.
Okay. Let me ask you a question though. And Rush is up next. He's been patiently waiting. Angry Snowman, what music would you introduce to your children first? Out of, like, if you had a choice between classical, grunge music, rap, jazz, rock, which one would it be?
Honestly, does it have to be of those three?
No, I'm just saying. Well, okay. How about this? If it just had to be those three, which one would it be?
Probably jazz.
Okay.
But personally, I introduced my kids to rhythm, to more so like blues music was the first kind of music I introduced them to, because there's a lot of soul and a lot of feeling, and it's negative but in a positive way, if you understand what I'm saying. That yes, blues is about losing, but it's also about regaining as well.
Okay. Rush, what's up, man? Rush, are you there?
Yo, slow. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit biased. I would say rap is better than classical music.
Go ahead.
Because I heard somebody mention like Shakespeare, and some of Nas's work could be in comparison to like Shakespeare. For example, one of my favorite records he created was I Gave You Power. I Gave You Power.
Trash song. Oh, I hated that song, but go ahead.
The premise of that record gives you the perspective of the gun on how it's being misused within, the urban community. And I thought that was genius on how he conjured up that incredible record. But as far as like classical music, it can inspire you to do certain things. Like I don't know, solve a math problem. But I digs the classical joints because you could do a lot of good samples off that, and make decent beats out of it. classical music have influenced some underground artists' albums and records, like hey man, like as far as when it comes to hip hop or whatever, a lot of times people just focus on the negative aspects of it, such as drill music. Drill music is influenced by gang culture. Yeah, it can get violent when the kids listen to that type of genre of music. Drill music is not the entire hip hop culture. It's just a part of it. Like somebody mentioned before. You got your Mos Defs, your Black Thoughts, Chino XL, Cannabis, Raekwon, and Chef. I mean, these guys are incredible lyricists, man. And not every rapper deserves the title of MC. I mean, like only a few or a handful could be, could carry that title. You know what I mean? And that's just my perspective on this topic over here. You're
I want to point out the people in the chat that are mad at me. It Was Written was trash. Nas was a one-hit wonder with Illmatic. Illmatic was such a good album that
talking about.
It's just my opinion, okay? Illmatic was such a good album that he exceeded expectations. He couldn't duplicate it or exceed that album. Thus, he became like a journeyman type rapper. Let's be honest. Come on, man.
What?
He's a journeyman rapper.
Chaotic. Wait. Hold on. Chaotic. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Chaotic.
Great Nas.
Wait. Chaotic. I'm not on your head, bro. I just got a question.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Wait. No. Wait. I'm finna go back further. Chaotic. Did you listen to Life is Good?
No. What is that?
Okay, that's Nas. Did you listen to King's Disease 1, 2, 3, or Magic?
Those must have predated. Those must have predated.
Lost Tapes 1, 2.
See, I don't know.
Stop it.
I never heard of it. Casey with $2 super chat. The difference between rap and real
in a young man's game right now.
You telling me
Nas is absolutely you are bugging. If you think Nas is a journeyman.
There's a difference between rap and real hip hop. It used to be a real difference, bro.
I'm giving you my opinion. Hold on for a second.
Hushing me.
Yeah, but
I'm giving you my opinion. I'm telling you from a perspective of a person. Listen, I'm not from New York. I'm not from the East Coast. I was always a West Coast rap fan. All I'm saying is that Illmatic is his magnus opus. And he did not do better than that afterwards. Stillmatic was pretty good, but no, it wasn't, man. Nas was a journeyman rapper to me.
You just told me that Jay-Z. You just said Jay-Z was your favorite artist.
I can't.
What you're bringing up, Chaotic, shows a bigger issue that I think, honestly, that black people really need to have.
What's that?
Black people overrate rap in the in the world. They view it as something super ultra important. Wow. It's like to try to put Nas words in the same spectrum as Shakespeare is ridiculous.
Thank you, sir.
It's taught throughout the entire globe. What are you talking about? And that's what I'm saying. It's like people overreach because they believe that hip hop is just so it goes on such a thought pattern that puts it on the same elevation as other things, other forms of art in the world. It's like, nah, it's not that important.
Thank you, SKC. Thank you.
So what's your favorite work from Shakespeare that you love to see at the theater?
We're all entitled to our opinions. Respect.
No, I want to know what the brother's favorite work, like what favorite play, what favorite reading does he love from Shakespeare?
Hamlet.
Oh my gosh.
No,
I didn't speak. I was just saying when you make the comparison, it's like somebody trying to state that.
It's cool. I'm not asking you to qualify, bro.
Guys. Can I answer for SKC real quick? Okay, give me a second, guys. Just don't cut me off. Okay, thank you. 13 movies inspired by Shakespeare. One of them is Lady Macbeth, The Lion King, The Merchant of Venice, Much Ado About Nothing, which was a good movie, and I saw that as a kid. What had okay? So in terms of Nas, are there any movies? Are there any plays that are inspired by Illmatic? If that makes any sense, any song on Illmatic? I guess that's what we're trying to say here. Like Shakespeare has inspired future.
Man, this is retarded.
No, it's not retarded. It's actually a good question. What works has certain rap inspired?
The reason why it's a good question is because Shakespeare was like the music of today, only back then. It really was.
Can that question be answered? What
Nobody's taking away from Shakespeare, but I'm not going to take away from the contributions of hip hop either, bro. And I'm not going to take away from the intricacies of it. And people keep trying to talk about it like it's such an easy thing to do. It's not.
I guess my question is not being.
See how you keep muting me, man?
Because Smitty, I'm muting everybody. My question hasn't been answered. The young man asked a question, right, about Shakespeare. And Shakespeare, listen, these are 10 movies that were based on Shakespeare's plays. Men of Respect, 1990, Get Over It, 2001, Deliver Us from Eva, black movie, 2003 with Gabriel Union, O, which is Othello, She's the Man, 2006, Just One of the Guys, Warm Bodies, 10 Things I Hate About You, I remember that movie, 1999, and West Side Story, 1961. These are movies inspired by Shakespeare's plays. What plays or movies are inspired by Belly?
No, don't throw Belly in there because it's a false equivalency. You would have to say, in order for you to say that, because in order for you to make that equal comparison,
I'm just reaching.
But chaotic, in order for you to make that comparison, you would say either what artist or what songs or whatever. Shakespeare was a playwright.
Yeah.
Nas is not a playwright.
NWA inspired Straight Outta Compton.
That's a movie based on.
Well, hold on,
gentlemen.
But hold on, gentlemen.
But you understand what I'm saying, chaotic? You couldn't. That's a false equivalency. You're trying to ask what has Nas done in Shakespeare's field, and even the gentleman that was saying Nas's words are not as great as Shakespeare. Okay, listen. I'll give you Rakim Allah. Now, are we going to deny the greatness of Rakim and his pen?
Nas over Rakim, though.
Well, hold on. No, I got a way to
I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna retort and say, okay, which one is more influential to the world?
The world.
Well, here's a better comparison.
And that's what I mean by black people overblow hip hop as if it's just such an important genre to the world.
Absolutely not. No. Wait. No.
Would be
whoever the Angry Snowman is, he actually. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say Edgar Allan Poe is actually a better comparison because Poe has had a lot of movies and things that have come from his works as well, and he was nothing but a poet.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Let me read the
super chat real quick. Casey with the $5 super chat says Shakespeare was art imitating life. Hip hop is life. Hip hop is life representing art. I do have a question real quick. Just guys, hear me out. Because SKC is on to something here. Tupac is supposedly this great rapper. What movies or books were inspired by Dear Mama?
Well, hold on.
None.
I can answer
None.
this. I can answer this.
Yeah.
It's an unfair comparison because you're talking about time.
Okay.
William Shakespeare was a product of his time dating back to the 16th century. So he's got like a 500-year head start.
Okay.
We're talking about 20. You're asking, it's not really a fair question. You got to have the time. Now, some of the stuff may be revisited. We'll see how good it is based on time. I will confess, because Chicago Rilla, who I respect, I know him with you and on Lapeef, someone like Akala. Akala is a UK rapper, very knowledgeable, professorial guy. He broke down that Shakespeare and rap comparison where I had to think of it differently. He quoted Wu-Tang Triumph. And when he goes into I bomb anatomically, Socrates philosophy hypotheses, can't define how I be dropping these mockeries. When you start to hear that, can't define how I be, it's a different situation. It depends. Now he can make an argument about that. Some people argue about this. So In time, like I said, one time jazz was considered jungle music. Now we don't talk that way anymore. My issue is the way rap music is presented now. The current rap music, the way it's presented, is a problem, and no one wants to talk about it. Where people are dying. When you talked about something like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he takes off his mask. These rappers aren't taking off the mask.
They can't.
But go
Well,
ahead.
Well, I guess the question is though, how volatile was rap? If some of y'all older than me, in the '80s, when the black community started going to shit, so to speak, how volatile was it then? Is it the music necessarily?
I can answer that question.
No, in that time, rap music reflected our actual lived experience.
Yeah.
And what to the brother that was speaking before me, he's absolutely right. Rap today, because it's a commodity and because it is a multi-billion-dollar export, it is the biggest cultural export from the United States of America. If you go to a Germany, a Japan, a South Korea, a North Korea, god dog it, you're gonna see all four elements of hip hop represented: the spray paint, the graffiti, the DJ, the b-boy. The b-boy that doesn't even live here in the United States like that now. To the point where you get a sponsor like Red Bull, right? So in that time, bro, to answer your question, in our time when I was coming up, when NWA came out with F the Police, that was really on the hearts and minds of the youth, because I come from Chicago with the Jump Out Boys, where they would, if they suspected you or something, man, you get in the back of that box Chevy, they're gonna take you in the alley, do what they do to you, and then leave you there, or charge you with something and pin it on you, and you ain't got no choice. That was our sentiment during that time. Now, what I would say and what I contend with in today's time is that you have a lot of Theo Huxtables and Eddie Winslows trying to act like they gangster, which I would refer, the first movie I would show any shorty thinking they want to rap is CB4.
Classic movie.
That is classic.
Chicago,
Straight out of Low Cash.
Let me tell you something.
That's where CT is from.
Being a New Yorker and remembering when rap really first set off, the very beginning of rap, it was always under criticism. Let's be clear about that. When rap first came out, it was basically party records, where it was live music rapping over party records, and the raps weren't that sophisticated. But back then, the discussion was, well, this music isn't serious. It's going to go away in a couple of months. You'd have arguments about LL Cool J's career. LL Cool J has been around for 40 plus years, but back then we would say, well, he's only going to last for a couple of months, that kind of thing. Rap music, as far as the lyrical content, this is what you have to really take a real microscope to it. The lyrical content was about, they would talk about, the party atmosphere. I don't do drugs. Drugs are whack. They would say actual positive affirmations in the early parts of the music. Who remembers self-destruction?
Express yourself.
For that.
Self-destruction,
1000, yeah.
You won't catch me running from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man.
From a black man.
Right.
Yep.
So we forget there was a time that when the foolishness in the street was going on, people were actually asking rappers to get involved. Rappers, at some point, there's maybe a 10-year span where rappers were not the problem. Matter of fact, you could admit that you went to college in a rap song. I have a master's degree.
1000% correct.
I have a master's degree from St. John's. I've had conversations at Comic-Cons with DMC, where I had to admit to him, I don't know if I didn't choose going to St. John's if it wasn't because of you, because it was referenced so much in his music. We can remember Kumo D and some of these other folks. I think what's his name? I forgot the guy. I
used to live downtown.
Yeah, he has a degree in economics. I forgot. A rapper.
Afro, who was the turn though? Who was the turn? So what year did it turn? When did it turn? Is it like?
I think it was California. Rap? I think it was California.
I can tell you when it turned.
But New York rap was trash
I think
too.
it was either NWA or
NWA. I agree with NWA. Yeah, I think it turned.
No, NWO. NWO.
No, when NWA came out, I remember looking at that album and speaking to a friend, and we said, How are they able to get
NWO.
away with
NWO.
calling themselves this? The idea of calling yourself the N-word and putting it on an album label was mind blowing. Like once that actually happened, and then the fact also that you had conscious music, Public Enemy, X-Clan, all that stuff was normalized. White kids were reciting Public Enemy lyrics. Now we know the government can't have white kids talking about Farrakhan favorably or Malcolm X. Once that went down, because you had black bookstores, you had Medallion, but you had. I can tell you one specific story. This is very important. When LL Cool J performed in Harlem, when he had a Walk Like a Panther, I'm sorry, CD. It wasn't CDs back then. It was a record, and he was doing what he was doing. He was booed off the stage in Harlem because no one did not want to hear non-conscious music. He talks about this. There was an actual moment where that conscious thing was so hard that LL Cool J said, you have to get off the stage. We want to hear Public Enemy. We don't want to hear that kind of minstrel stuff. So when NWA came about, when that California stuff and the gangster stuff came on, that's when it was not allowed to exist.
Can I speak?
Let me read the super chat real quick. Big Time with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Big Time, coming through with all the super chat. Says last week, black kids at a program in Chicago were asking for rappers to speak to the day kids in Chicago to not flash mob again. Where were the rappers? I have no idea what you're talking about.
They was in the flash mob. Can I speak real quick?
Sure.
The thing about it is this, right? So I think rap a lot of times is just propaganda. I think that like this. So some of the West Coast rap, well, I don't like New York or West Coast rap because I don't really like rap. I don't like New York or the East Coast. I mean, New York or the West Coast, but the West Coast especially, I don't really like California at all. Never really liked it. But I think that, well, with the exception of the Bay, I think the Bay had a lot of decent music, but I think rap is just propaganda. I think it's just a way for people to, for certain groups of people to make themselves look like they're tougher than they really are. Because in my opinion, there were always those type of people out there, but they didn't necessarily broadcast it. And if anything, I could say Harlem in the 20s had more gangsters than Harlem in the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that. And then I think when it comes to music and talent, I mean, I think that there's some very talented people in rap, especially like producers and things like that. But I honestly think a lot of it is just propaganda. It's talking, and I don't, until you actually do something to somebody significant, and I'm not talking about a random person in your area, then I don't really take what you're saying as, and that includes the conscious stuff. I look at the conscious stuff as whining, and you know, one of my favorite songs, and it's funny because I think this is a conscious song, "Back in Blood" by Pooh Shiesty. And that's my motto to most people that say that they have an issue. Get it back in blood. Don't talk. Don't. Let me finish. Right. I'm talking about from a massive level. If you are saying that you feel that you've been oppressed, you're not gonna. But number one, we know that that's not true. But it's not gonna come from you talking. It's not. People are not gonna give up their power because you talk them out of it. And so I think a lot of the conscious stuff is just whining. And, you know, that's my opinion. I do think, though, that like the stuff in the 80s, and some people talk about, like, I just have to pick and choose the stuff that I like, because some of it is just false. Like, you know, NWA, we know that a lot of these people were not really living the life. We know that. Like,
can I ask a question for the whole panel real quick? And what's up, Free Zone Lou? And Eric brings up some good
When you're
points.
done, CT, can I make a comment when you're done?
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes.
Now, I'm not knocking rap. But if rap is such this great intercontinental musical export, why isn't rap used in scores in blockbuster films?
Depends on what films you talking about.
Yeah, which
Can
one?
I say something to that?
I mean, let's use.
Can I say something real quick?
What is the definition of what is a blockbuster? Right, a blockbuster is a film that makes
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Men in Black.
Will
Smith.
It's Batman.
ACT.
Was the score?
Hold
What
Nah,
I'm saying
man.
is
Look,
that why?
CT, the
why
fact is this,
guys, can
right?
I
The
talk?
fact is
We're all getting
that
cut off. In Interstellar, why
I'm
isn't
on like
rap
delay.
music?
My thing's different.
Why isn't rap music? Hold on for a second. Why isn't rap music used in Interstellar, $1 billion film?
Because
It
it's
doesn't.
not.
I don't think it fits
Yeah,
with the
I know
theme.
it doesn't fit the thing.
But
So
why
are you?
not?
Hold on a second. But
Why
no,
not?
no. Hold on a second. Let me finish real quick. But
Go ahead.
when you talk about a score, you're talking about melody. You're not talking about something with words. Now there are
Yeah.
Are you familiar with like the Funk Brothers from like Motown? Right? There are plenty of people who are musical producers like Pharrell. So for example, if you're going to tell me why isn't rap used for score, Pharrell is a rapper, and look at Despicable Me. So for you to sit up here and say that they've not really done anything, that's not necessarily true, because a score, go ahead and look up Pharrell and the Minions, right? When you talk about a score, you're not talking about something with words. You're talking about melodies and beats and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking it up now. Go ahead, guys.
CT, can I say one thing to this?
Yeah, you got a delay though, man. But go ahead.
Can I say one thing to this, CT?
Yeah.
My bad. I don't know. I'm about to get off in a second. I got something to do. You keep asking about all this. Why isn't hip hop this? The fact is, around the world, there are way more influence of hip hop. I'm talking about. I've even looked at little short on the street.
Yeah.
Hip hop is rap music is everywhere. Everybody wants to for real. Like there's nowhere that hip hop is not influenced. You got Asian kids who can pop lock and dance real good. I mean, it's everywhere, sir. So
really,
my point is
is it
a
out?
lot more influence throughout
Let
the
me
world of
respond to
people
this.
trying to be hip hop artists as opposed to people trying to be classical music composers.
Okay. Let me just say something real quick.
And that's a fact.
Let me just say something.
Everywhere.
Okay. Let me say something. No, let me hold on a second. No,
that's
I gotta respond. I gotta respond. So first off, let me just say this. The mixed boy is saving rap. If you didn't have the little half breed from Canada, you wouldn't be anywhere, because the reggaeton and the BTS is annihilating rap right now. Even in America, the reggaeton and beats and the Asian music, they smash in rap.
It is too.
It's not
It
even
really
close.
is.
So like, I don't know, like, get off the like high horse here.
Can I piggyback on that too?
Let me read the super chats first before you
Especially the
piggyback
girls,
off.
man, they're into that BTS stuff like crazy.
Hooper 40 with the $5 super chat says, truth be told, hip hop turned or flipped when corporate America got involved way before the crack era. I wouldn't know. Big Time with the $5 super chat says 500 black men marched on Saturday in Chicago to stop violence. Following day yesterday, 3 and 6-year-old were shot on Sunday. No protest. Where are the rappers? Guys, go ahead.
I respect the 500 men though. We got to start giving shouts out to people, because we cannot sit up here and point out Chicago and not talk about the people that are actually out there. So I respect that. Just by the way,
real quick, I like a little bit. I like older rap, and I like classical music. But to the comment that was just made before PSB about more people wanting to be rappers and wanting to be in hip hop, and that's to PSB's point, that's nonsense. Number one. Number two, if it wasn't for producers which create the music in the background, a lot of these rappers would still be at home in the basement, working at Wendy's, flipping fries, making shakes, doing all that goofy stuff. That's the second thing. These producers are saving these rappers, because these rappers are trash.
That's
Number three, and most importantly, the barrier for entry for hip hop is much lower than classical music. You have to learn an instrument. You have to actually learn an instrument and craft and all that stuff. For rap, you just gotta be able to put words together, and not even all that well. Especially nowadays, I give more credence to the older folks that put more thinking behind the pen and stuff. But anybody can rap now. Anybody can rap now. We could throw a beat on right now, and at least half the people on this panel right now could at least put some words together.
all of y'all.
You know what I'm saying? So let's quit playing these games.
People free zone.
Can I say something real quick? Now, Eric, as smart as Eric is wrong.
What?
Eric is absolutely wrong. Despicable Me, the score is not for real. Now he has songs and themes. It's a guy named Heater. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
What was the name of the song? Hold on a second. What was the name?
Eminem just made a whole album for Godzilla.
Like,
I
what
don't
do you,
know
hold on a
what you're
second.
talking about.
For
Okay,
real,
guys, I'm gonna leave.
for real stuff is all over them. Have you seen Despicable Me?
But hold on, I've never seen it. I'm just reading what it says.
Bro, for
It
real
says
stuff is
it's-
all over that movie, man.
I mean, I don't know. I never saw it. All I'm saying is, I'm reading here. It says this guy right here wrote the score. He's a Brazilian composer. That's
Yeah,
all
because
I'm
we know
reading.
Brazilians are. Never mind.
I'll just take your word. I'll take your word for it, though.
I'm just saying, when I don't know what you mean. Do you mean a sound, or do you mean what is it? Because once again, a score is not talking. Like, you can't say, why isn't a rap a score? So you're telling me background music, that there's going to be no words involved in that.
Right, that's the score. The score.
Okay,
is
so
just
you're telling me, are there any
background.
rap producers that have also done a score? Is that your because it would be a rap
Right.
producer. It would be
I'm
a rap
sorry,
producer. I'm saying, are you trying to tell me rap producer? Are you saying a rap producer that did a score? Because no rapper would do a score because a score is not talking.
Okay, so let's be honest, right? Okay, so background music has always been in movies. The score is the identifying theme or the musical theme, like in Star Wars, right? You hear that.
Okay.
You hear that melody throughout the movie.
Okay.
And so it's like a signature of sorts. And
Okay.
and that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking for real at all. By no means.
So what about 8 Mile?
Well, that's a movie. That's a hip hop movie, right?
Okay, don't worry, bro, because I'm about to find some more for it. What about
No,
Save
go
the
ahead,
Last
no,
Dance?
listen,
What about
you guys
Save the
are
Last
pulling me.
Dance? What about Save the Last Dance?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who wrote the score? And is Save the Last Dance a movie about music, though? What I'm saying is that if rap music was this great music genre, why aren't there?
We're talking about beats. Like, when you're talking about rap, you're talking about words. The rap producer, I'm telling you this right now, and I'm saying it. Some of these producers will fuck a Mozart up. I'm letting you know that right now. A doctor, come on, bro. You're tripping now. Now you're tripping.
No.
A Kanye
Eric,
West.
I'm asking
Okay,
questions.
hold on a second.
I'm asking questions.
Okay, so let's break it down. A Kanye West versus a Beethoven. You want to have that combo?
Okay, let me ask you this question: what musical composition?
Come on, man.
Did Kanye West make that is better than Requiem of a Dream by Mozart?
It depends. Number one, you have a fascination.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
You have a fascination with nostalgia. So I don't even think Requiem for a Dream is better than a lot of the stuff that the Funk Brothers put out for Motown. Like, you are going. Let me finish. You're cruising off of nostalgia. You're saying Mozart and all these people because that's what you were told. Okay, if you're going to sit up here and tell me people like a Timberland or people like Dr. Dre or people like, it's all based upon your opinion. But the idea that, for example, that a Mozart can't like the Funk Brothers are probably my favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
They laid the sound for Motown. You're going to sit up here and tell me, well, the Europeans are just better than that? Fuck them. No. How many records did Beethoven sell?
I don't think.
How many? Oh, okay.
Did they sell records?
How many people are streaming Beethoven over iTunes?
Doesn't matter. Beethoven is played throughout movies, background music everywhere. I mean,
and you're telling me rap music isn't. You're telling me. Let's forget rap music. Hold on a second. I get it. You have an issue with rap music. Let's do the sounds of the 80s, which were black. You're telling me you think Mozart can fuck with like Prince or Michael Jackson come on, bro. You're tripping. You're tripping, bro.
You went outside the parameter of the debate here.
But the parameter of the debate is you're living off of nostalgia. You're living off of nostalgia.
But now you're bringing up literally the greatest musicians in the history of humankind. Come on,
who?
Prince and Michael Jackson. Come on.
Okay, so check this out. That's what I'm saying. Beethoven. How are you numbers comparison? How are you judging? How are you judging this? Like, I'm telling you, I get it. You have an issue with rap music, but them producers, those black producers, nobody's fucking with them, man. I'm telling you, you're even some of the younger kids, like the Tay Keiths, the Zaytovens, nobody's fucking with these guys. I'm sorry about that. And the thing is, you're not respecting their craft. Because when I look at somebody like a T-, T- went to college to study music. Like you're sleeping on like these HBCUs that produce that have great producers. And I get it because they're on a rap beat. You don't think it's all that great, but still, this is some great music, bro. Kanye West. I'm sorry, bro. You want to bring Beethoven, man? Kanye West will wash Beethoven and Mozart on their best day. Oh, blind ass. Oh, blind ass.
What's the setting? What's the setting?
CT, can I ask a question real quick? Let me get on this real quick.
Hey guys, can you guys get on like camera in the back? There's too many people like in avatars. Like it's gonna.
Have you ever listened to the record Donda? Have you ever given Kanye West a chance?
Yeah, I like Kanye West.
You listen to Donda, the record?
Yeah, I like Kanye Rock. I like Kanye. I just don't think that he's that talented.
You're saying he's trash.
You said Kanye.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on.
No. Let's not. No, hold on a second. Hold a second. No.
26% of the people in the world.
Rock. Name me the instrument that Kanye plays.
All the instruments are stop. Hold on a second. Stop.
All the instruments are on the computer.
Hold on a second. Sid Rock. Stop.
All the instruments are on the computer now, and not just anybody can walk up to the computer and make it sound good.
Exactly.
That point I wanted to come out with.
He's living on nostalgia.
Hold on. 26% of the people in the world listen to rap.
A million people, sir. Stop.
1.8
millions of
billion
people. Millions of people watch Bad Babies. Millions of people watch Bad Baby's rap music video too. Is she a great rapper too?
Well, she doesn't.
So number one, hold on a second.
We know this.
Hold on a second. Number one, like I said, you're living off of nostalgia. You were told that Beethoven's blind suicide committing ass was all that great. You were told that. They ain't messing with Kanye, bro. They ain't messing with Quincy Jones. They ain't messing with them people, man.
Patriarchy. I just want to ask Chaotic a question.
Hold on for a second. Rilla, before you ask me this question. Rock. Kanye plays no instrument. He does not dance. I could argue and say that
Beethoven dance?
I could argue and say that Sammy Davis Jr. mops the floor with Kanye West. How about that?
No, you cannot make that argument. Wait,
how can I?
You understand? Hold on, 1 second. You understand that Kanye does make a lot of his beats? You understand that he produces a lot of his own music?
Too much noise going on in the background. What instrument does Kanye West play, my good sir, Rock?
I'm pretty sure it's called a synthesizer.
That's not talent, sir.
You don't think Kanye knows how to read music?
What?
You don't think Timberland?
He actually created his own. He just created an instrument.
Sir, when I was in high school, I was making beats on Napster. So what?
I got you. He doesn't play an instrument. He doesn't play an instrument. Yo, Chaotic. Wait,
did you play an instrument, Chaotic?
No, I'm not talented.
Well, I played an instrument. So like, go ahead.
Wait. Here's my question, Chaotic.
Yes.
Would you agree that Quincy Jones is absolutely one of the greatest producers and composers of our time?
Of course.
Okay, what instruments does Quincy Jones play?
I don't know what instrument he plays, sir. I know he's good at picking people to picking musicians.
The same as Kanye.
Chaotic. Don't do that. You trying to pigeonhole Kanye? Kanye is our modern day Quincy Jones.
Facts.
Period. Put some respect on that man's name. He's from the South Side of Chicago.
I'm about to challenge you to a duel.
And ain't you an alpha?
Yeah, I'm about to challenge you to a duel.
Did y'all step to Mozart? Is that what you were stepping to?
You a traitor. You backing some Europeans over Americans. You being a real tether right now.
You flogging right now.
Okay, here's the problem. Here's the problem though. When you guys keep asking like I don't agree with CT right now because producers do great things, but y'all are really bringing up like stupid. Would you two-step to Mozart? Like, yo, two-stepping is a very low. It's a low level activity. No. I'm not talking about you. You're good, bro. Like things like two-stepping and things like you guys are bringing up low vibrational, low level activities to like. You're not saying stuff like inventing things or doing productive things. You're just talking about silly shit and referencing. Can you do that to Mozart? It's like, no, of course not.
What did Mozart invent?
That's not what we're saying though.
What did Mozart impact?
I got a question.
What did Tchaikovsky invent?
Yeah, I got a question. Mozart's band versus FAMU. Who's winning that? FAMU. Go wash them. Wash them.
Goofy shit.
I'm just no. We're talking about how is that goofy, right? If you've ever been to a band competition, right? This is competitiveness. Even if you want to go to orchestra, right? For example, the people at those, like if we go to FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, which are in NCA&T, those are the three ones I consider the best, right? You look at those people; those are very, very talented people. And I think T minus the producer went to FAMU. I think I may be wrong, but I know he went to HBCU, and I know he studied music, right? I am telling you this: if we look up performance of music in a band, I am letting you know that FAMU is going to wash anything coming out of the 17 or 1800s. I'm just letting you know that right now.
Real quick. Arguing which genre of music influences better behavior? Is that the argument?
No, it's just an overall argument.
Bro, I'll put you like this. There are videos on YouTube where you have young black kids who have listened to classical music for the first time. They've never heard classical music other than maybe on some like background music in a movie. They've never sat down and listened to classical music. And before they started listening to it, they were pretty much your average, urban hood. Hey man, shit finna jump. You know what I'm saying? All this, and then when they start playing it, they gain some sanity. They gain some clarity. They're like, this kind of their whole accent changes when they listen to classical music in real time on YouTube. So
I have a question. Hear me out, and this goes to Rilla and Eric especially.
Okay.
I'm not arguing against any black marching band. Trust me, because we know black marching bands are elite. But if these marching bands were so great, why doesn't Tyler Perry and Spike Lee get these great musical band directors to compose a score for these blackety black movies?
I don't know. You got to ask them that.
That's what I'm saying.
Number one. So hold on a second. So number
they have
one.
No universal appeal.
Wait, patriarchy. Hey, patriarchy. Just real quick.
That's
Tyler
what
Perry has a score. Tyler Perry has a score for his movies.
I don't know. Does he have a score? I don't really watch. I mean,
and who writes the scores for majority of Spike Lee's movies?
Sir,
you know this one. Wait, no, chaotic. That's a direct question. Who writes the scores for his Stanley Card. Stop doing that. Stanley Card.
Okay.
But really, you're doing the same thing, bro. You're like elevating.
They don't have universal appeal. They don't have universal appeal, and that's the problem.
What am I doing? What am I
doing? They look at things through the lens of black and think that the entire world revolves around that.
Yeah. The thing is, I thought I was going next.
Did Mozart create?
Let Eric go, guys.
So the thing is this. Number one, I don't like a lot of classical music because it's the music of the American oppressor, right? I prefer more John Phillips Susua, right? Stars and Stripes Forever, right? I prefer more of those type of things, right? I prefer more American music. So I'm going to obviously be biased with this, right? But I think that we're going for a particular style, and one style cannot compare to the other. They're just completely different styles. But if you're talking about instruments and who composes things. Like I said, I like the Funk Brothers. I like, Prince. I like things like that. I mean, I like that. That's a lot of jazz, right? Like Duke Ellington, things like that. That's going to be more of my flow. Now, if you want to side with the European wig wearers, okay, over the Americans, well, you go ahead and do that. But I'm rocking with jazz. I'm rocking with Motown over there. I just think it's better music for me, my opinion, personally. But we know that you love Europeans, chaotic, because you're a tether, right? And you would have fought for the British.
But Eric, it has nothing to do with that. When having this conversation, and this is what I'm saying, the bigger picture is that black people try to center themselves as if their things are more important than the globe.
Everybody else, and
it's like it just doesn't have that type of universal appeal. It doesn't.
Yeah. So the thing is this, right? If you're talking about appeal, we already I'm on your team with that because we debunked when we talk about the reggaeton washing rap music right now, and we talking about the K-pop washing rap music right now, right? With the exception of the half breed from Canada. So what I'm saying is I get what you're saying, but
yeah, people can have their personal preferences, but the thing is that a lot of times people take those personal preferences and then they make overstatements like hip hop rules the world. Everybody in every country is trying to do hip hop. It's like, dude, you go over to a lot of the
Arab
the
countries,
East,
they got their own
and people want to throw out all this stuff about hip hop and such and such. When you go into these universities and schools, you will have thousands upon thousands, if not millions, that are in the classical arts since they were little kids up to adults.
Exactly.
So it's like, what are you even talking about?
But this is my hold on a second. But this is my personal. You got to understand, right? Now I know I'm a coon, right? But I do hold on a second. But I do think soul food is the best food out there, and I do think like old school music, jazz, old school R&B. That's what works for me. It is a personal preference. I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I think some of the classic music, while some of it is good, I think some of it's overrated. It's just my opinion.
Give me 1 second. Let me read the super chat. Big time with the $5 super chat says, does Eric listen to rappers who represent gangs who get toe tagged? You want to answer that question?
Yeah, I was just listening to Key Glock last night. So yeah, but I mean the thing, and I listened to Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty had an amazing album. If he wasn't so ignorant, yeah, I listened to that. I mean, they're more cool than Mozart is. Mozart, excuse me, and Beethoven. Beethoven was a blind, like, weirdo. This guy was a goofy.
Okay. Chicago Rilla, if you're still there, can I talk to you real quick without any interruption real quick? Rilla, you there? You're on mute, Rilla. Rilla?
Yeah, I'm here.
You mentioned Spike Lee. I did my research. The first 5 or 6 movies, who did the scores for his movie?
His daddy.
His dad. After those movies, who did the scores?
Stanley Clark.
Terrence.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, Terrence Blanchard.
Where did he come from?
Terrence Blanchard?
Yeah, where did he come from?
As I know, he's a jazz musician.
Right. At the Lionel Hampton Orchestra. He was a member of the Lionel Hampton Orchestra. I'm telling you, man, why didn't Spike Lee get a hip hop artist to do his scores?
So for a score or for the soundtrack?
For the score, for the soundtrack, yes.
Well, no. Those are two different things. So if we're talking about the score, you're talking about the film and the vibe of the music, and because the only hip hop artist that we know that is remotely close to doing the score, again, we talked about this before, I think on your channel, is Pharrell.
Okay.
We don't know of any other hip hop producer, artist. Maybe Swizz. I don't think Swizz Beatz did anything. But if you're talking about soundtrack, I mean, come on now. What's Public Enemy's biggest song? Fight the Power.
Yeah.
Do you let your children listen to rap?
Do me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You asking me? No. So let me tell you this. And my kids are bigger now. I'm old. Okay. Remember I told you I'm fossil fuel, right? So when my kids were young, you know what they actually watched and listened to? VeggieTales. My kids didn't watch Beat Street. They didn't watch Beat Street until they were in their teens. Before then, I was cool with them watching Breaking.
Okay.
I've always brought my kids. Go ahead.
What did they clean the house to on Sunday? Like, see, that's I was raised on.
Definitely,
like,
it's gonna be some. Wait, hold on, Pedro, because you asking that. Now, it's definitely gonna be some Luther Vandross, some Frankie Beverly and Mays, Anita Baker type action going on with that. You absolutely right.
And then, like,
yeah.
I want to know why y'all lying on here. Time out.
Wait, who's lying? Man, you don't get to lobbying that accusation.
Listen, the RZA did the original score for the Kill Bill movies. He did.
I forgot about that.
Y'all don't know about
that.
Yeah.
Nobody's. Wait, hold on. You got to pause, bro. Nobody's lying. I'm just saying I didn't know. Now, if I didn't know, I didn't know. But you can't say I'm lying,
bro. Tucker Carlson got cut at Fox.
You can't call a grown man a liar and think I'm supposed to be cool with that.
Hey, I'm saying you said the only one that even came close was Pharrell, and you was just dead wrong. So maybe
the only one that we know.
That was what I said. I didn't know. I actually forgot about RZA. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Let's throw these numbers out real quick. 26% of the people in the world
did Tucker Carlson get cut,
and 15% of the people listen to K-pop. So I don't think K-pop's mopping the floor of rap there, buddy.
Absolutely not. Hip hop is still rap.
What about reggaeton? Hold on a second. What about reggaeton?
I can
Combine them
guarantee you, there's
both.
not 15% of the
Don't
people
do
in the
that.
world listen to reggaeton. Is that what
Bro,
you're
but it's
saying?
fractioning. It's already. Hold on a second. So do Asians look at the population of what Asians? If this fragments based on ethnicity, rap is going to lose its global dominance.
First off, Asians are not a fair comparison when you talk about.
What about
freedom.
Latinos and
Dude,
reggaeton?
hold on 1 second, please. Asians are not a fair comparison when you talk about anything that has to do with freedom, because over 1 billion of them live in a regime that are not allowed to even have karaoke bars.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
So you can't talk about Asians like that.
No karaoke in Japan. No karaoke in Japan.
Big Ant with the
China.
$10. Big Ant, what's up, Big Ant? How you doing, by the way? Big Ant with the $10 super chat says, "What up, chaotic? Respect to Nas and Scarface and Wu-Tang for giving me peace of mind going to and from missions in Iraq and Afghanistan and etc. Salute to you, sir, and thank you so much, sir, for serving the country, man. Much respect to you, Big Ant. Go ahead, guys. You got the floor. And guys,
Can you go look up this Tucker Carlson thing?
Service, man.
That's true. The Tucker Carlson thing is true. He's leaving. It's
What?
on the Wall Street Journal. He's leaving. I don't know if he's been fired. But he's
TC's
leaving.
gone. Yeah,
I already looked it
okay,
up.
though. He's going to make something better.
All right,
Let me
I'm
say
out of
some-
here. Hold
Let
on.
me
I'll
say
be right
something
back.
quickly. I want to compliment my. We have a bison and we have a pirate agreeing. It's the gentleman that just left, so I have to give him his due. Two and three things can coexist at the same time. I think we can admit that rap is problematic and is low grade. We can also admit there are times where we have to look at it differently, where it might rise to greatness. When the patriarchy was talking and he was going into some of the Black history that we don't really get into, this is where I may defer from chaotic. I understand you have your West African background. There's a lot of things about African American culture that we don't exalt. We just do not do it for some reason. When you can talk about Duke Ellington, when you could talk about W.C. Handy, when you could talk about some of these otherworldly Black contributions, African American, the Harlem Renaissance, all of those great writers that came from that experience, we eschew that, and we want to talk about Little Dirk. So I'm missing it. We could actually exalt the game by actually embracing some of Sun Ra and Miles Davis and Charlie Parker, all these people. We don't talk about them. We'd rather go to the low grade, the low end. That's part of the problem. So I have to compliment patriarchy. We don't always agree, but when he broke down some of that Black history, I am not going to exalt Mozart. I respect Mozart, but we have Duke Ellington, we have Billy Strayhorn, we have some people that we don't talk about. Why do we have to put down our greats to exalt Europeans? I don't know. I don't get it.
Nobody was putting down the greats like Duke Ellington and certainly jazz. We were just, the original conversation was rap versus classical music, and comparing Duke Ellington to Spice One is totally different. Spice One, like most gangster rappers, literally talked about some of the most demonic things ever. I don't think Duke Ellington talked about robbing people from the bushes and blowing their brains out.
Taking the A train, but
I would say, like, and to that point, like, even if you replaced classical music with anything that falls within the your Duke Ellingtons and all that stuff, rap is still not. It's not fucking. It's not. It's still coming up short. Let's say. So even if you replace classical music with your jazz, we could have that discussion, and I would roll with jazz. I mean, you got 1.4. Rap is the only genre. Can somebody name another genre that's banned? The genre is banned in a country, not just a country with the most populated country in the world.
Yeah,
I'm like 1.4 billion people that can't listen to rap.
I'll name one. Listen. In China, you cannot listen to any music that is not positive to the CCP party. So there's one for you.
And would you
but
believe
but
that?
Basically everywhere else, every other country is kind of free when it comes to music. There's rappers in India, there's rappers in Afghanistan, and there's rap all over the world. You can't say that for classical music. There's nobody making new
That's what I
classical
was
music.
about to say.
The only people that are making new classical music are the super rich that have money to throw away to these non-profits. Dude.
That's not
Right.
true.
I can
That's
show
not
you
true.
composers.
I just went to a show just like 3 weeks ago, and we were listening to a new composer. So I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I can show you.
Okay, so they happen few and far between. But
No,
still,
it's not.
how
It's
many
not few and
people-
far between. That it
how many
happens on
people
a
listen to
regular
classical
basis.
music?
Yeah, you just don't listen to it.
You're talking to one.
Was
Rock.
it, okay.
Way more
Billions
rappers than
of
they
people
are
listen.
classical
Right, hold on,
music
guys,
producers.
Rock. You listen to
You're
classical
saying
music every time.
billions? I don't
Rock,
think so.
you listen to classical music every time you watch a movie, sir. It's in the background of almost
I
every
don't
damn
watch
movie.
movies. Why would I watch movies? It's a waste of time to watch a movie, dude.
Mhm.
I'd rather gain knowledge than watch a freaking movie, bro. I don't
Right,
need to
we'd
get
rather-
By listening to rap music.
I think that rap music.
No,
has
I don't listen to
spread
that much
faster
rap.
and vaster.
Don't believe me.
than
Do not
classical music.
assume my character by my appearance.
You're right,
Don't
bro.
do that.
I'm not
You're
gonna do
right.
that.
You-
I'm not gonna do
you're
that.
digging yourself a hole,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm not
I'll
gonna do
back
that.
off of that one. I'll back off of that one. One thing
Let me
that
read
I
the
did
super
want to
chat, guys.
bring up.
Let me read the
Oh.
super chat. Big Time with the $2 super chat says rappers in India got shot during a video shoot. I did not hear about that, and I think that's Big Time. I don't believe that. I don't believe there was. First of all, I think India does allow you to have guns. I don't think that happened. There goes that motherfucker right there.
India does not allow you to have that.
Hey, about to spin the block.
There goes that dilute motherfucker right there.
Right now, motherfucker.
What are those things that they walk around with? Like those carts that they walk around with in India? No, those small cars. Can you imagine the drive-by shooting from that? No, but Rock, seriously, if you had a kid, would you let them listen to rap music, sir?
Depends on the rapper. Yeah.
Okay,
I would-
Rock,
I
you
would let
talked
him- do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know? Have you ever heard of the rapper Dax? I'm just throwing him out there. He's just
No.
one independent. All right, Dax is like really. He's not really that negative. He's kind of positive, and he's more of a looking at oneself and then trying to express it, than expressing things that you've never done in your life. Like all these gangster rappers running around wanting
Have you
talk
ever
about
watched?
killing people.
Have you ever watched Star Wars?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's old.
If John Williams didn't compose the score, would it have sound better with the whistle rap theme from the 90s?
I mean, Lil Jon could probably produce something.
So you would rather hear Little John and Star
somebody.
Wars?
Yeah, but you're saying that
I'm just asking a question.
one way is better than the other when you never even had the option of the other.
Sir, all I'm saying is that you out of your own mouth said that Kanye was talented, and I'm asking,
he made an instrument. You know
okay, let
that?
me ask you a question. Let's compare. Let's
Hold
compare.
on, 1 second. You're saying this billionaire is not talented, one of the richest music creators ever.
Sir, Bad
name
Baby-
one composer.
Bad Baby is
Sir, give me 1 second. Name one composer that's a billionaire.
I can't. I don't think any composer is a billion.
Okay. So let me move on from that. Name one classical artist that created an instrument. You can't.
What instrument did Kanye West create?
The stem player.
What the hell is a stem player?
It's like it's a remixing device for music, basically. You can
Right.
upload music onto it and you can remix
Right.
it right
Me and
there.
you are the same age, so I gotta ask you a question. Let's compare.
Is that really an
Sammy
instrument,
Davis
though?
Jr. versus Kanye
That's
West? Who's a
considered
better
instrument.
Who's a better artist?
Who? What?
Who's a better Who's a better artist between Sammy Davis Jr. and Kanye West?
Stop that,
Kanye West.
You can't compare that. I don't think so.
Why can't you?
Kanye West, that's
Because they're
easy.
two different genres.
No, Sammy
Okay,
Davis is not, he's a
okay,
performer.
okay,
He's not
okay.
a producer. He's
Right.
a
Is
performer.
it possible that you guys have been brainwashed to believe that Kanye West is actually good? The nigga doesn't play any instrument.
No.
He doesn't sing. He doesn't
No.
dance. What the fuck
No.
does he
Have
do?
you ever heard any of his
No, wait,
music?
hold on. Let me answer that. Let me wait.
Man,
Hold on.
I can get on the song
Let me-
and go ahead.
No, let me answer that.
No, you can't.
Kanye is actually hold on. Kanye is an actual producer. Not only that, he shifted the landscape of what you would listen to for modern day rap music. He shifted it across the board. You know how many sons he has in the game right now? And you could start with Drake. and go down from there, right? Kanye's influence on the rap game and how many people he's introduced and how many.
Let's get Rilla out of here. Let's get him out of
And,
here.
and that's what I
Sean
mean. It's
Taylor,
like the
super
whole
chat.
rap thing.
Yes, rap is black culture. Sorry about that, Rilla. I had to read that super chat. I I wouldn't kick you out, but go ahead, man.
Well,
Thank you
no,
for the
and to put it simply, what he's saying is that Kanye made non-gangster music cool again. Prior to Kanye, the person who was on top in rap music was 50 Cent, and everybody wanted to be like 50 Cent, G Unit, Bulletproof Vest, Thug Wear, all this stuff. They came through with the.
Yeah, I think he bugged out.
I
But he was making a good point.
Listen, if FAMU was so great, how come black producers, black people like Tyler Perry don't get black directors of these bands to do scores and compositions for those black movies?
Here's the answer, CT, and it was, I would say, a little bit ingenious, but it's kind of baked into the cake when it comes to the culture. The spin move that was just done on your program.
Yeah.
Okay, you made the title stating is classical music better than rap?
Yes.
And then you had, and I like Patriarchy, he's my guy, but he came in and then he did the spin move, was trying to add in other genres of music. Yes. And other black people or something, because he made it a black and white argument, as if there aren't black composers.
Yes, thank you.
And that's what I'm saying is that, and that's what I'm saying. And even way back in the 1800s, there were black composers, but but black people get it in their mind that classical music is black, it is white music.
Yeah.
No one listens to it. Period. It's like
I don't think KHR is coming from that end.
It's not that.
Let me read the super chat real quick, and I'm gonna get to JT. Quarter Water with the $5 super chat says Ryan Leslie is an amazing producer who plays multiple instruments. Surprised no one bought him up. JT,
he is dope.
Quarter Water, thank you so much.
Got kicked out the game.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. So I think Patriotic still made a great point when he was talking about the composers, and with Kanye. Kanye, you got to understand, also is a composer. He has composed music, so that definitely up under the genre of being a producer. He's definitely not only a producer, he's a songwriter and he's a composer. So even though he may not play a specific instrument, I guarantee the man knows how to play at least piano, synthesizers, and such. So when it comes down to it, it's still, even though he doesn't play one type of instrument, the man is very intricate when it comes down to making music, because he doesn't just make rap music. He doesn't just make hip hop music.
Because you also have classical music is rap music. You can't.
Yes, they can. Because
they need Kanye to be bigger than he is.
Well,
hey, wait, hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. Can you name a Kanye made beat that does not have a sample in it? That's straight from scratch.
Oh, I was going to go to that part right there. Sampling is actually an art. If you understand what these
get out of here, bro. Stop it.
Can I say
no, because we're comparing it to classical music, and you're moving from my question.
Wait.
You're saying classical music doesn't sample other classical
guys,
music.
let JT finish, man.
All right, you got it, bro. You got it. My bad.
I was speaking to that point. When you're talking about sampling has been, it's like an art now. When you actually look, I don't know if you guys listen to XM Radio, and they have on LL Cool J's radio station, Salute the Sample, and they would come out with some of your classic hip hop songs, right? What they would do is break down that song and tell you where those songs actually originate from in sampling, and you will be amazed at where a lot of this music comes from. This is where I was saying. So what we're talking about, if we even talking about how you even change, hip hop has changed the way that we even listen to music through every other genre of music. There's not another genre of music that we don't use. We use every genre of music, even hip hop.
Right. So my counter to that would be name who did Mozart sample music from?
There was not at that time. There was not a time where he can sample music like that.
So
He
you
played the
can't
instrument.
you cannot compare somebody who created timeless music from nothing to somebody who just takes and adds some 808s and kicks and shit to it,
I'm not
and it's just
comparing.
popping.
I'm not comparing. I just said that hip hop is from all genres of music. But you're talking about two different times. You're conflating two different times in two different time zones. Mozart, I wasn't living with Mozart. Kanye wasn't living with Mozart in his time.
Right. So that's why black people should not make the comparisons when they say, "Oh, this person is the Shakespeare of our time or the Mozart of our time." There is no comparison. Just keep it a book and just say there's no comparison.
Okay,
but people, what it really is talking about, what it's really talking about is people are trying to use those things as a Trojan horse for racial elements. What they're really trying to say is, hey, this black person that we really like now is better than that white person of old that you like. That's what the conversation is really about.
Great point.
I could make the same argument in the latter. You know, you're just trying to say that the old white guy is better than all the new black guys.
Name is banned in Mozart, so it's not racist anymore.
Rock, is it possible to believe that maybe Mozart is one of the greatest composers of all time?
He is. I never said he's not.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand where people come from with that. You know, they want to go. Let me tell you this: whoever brings up the race card is actually the racist. I don't think I've ever haven't brought up the race card in this whole aspect of it. Just like earlier, you wanted to bring up, it's not. People don't understand.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Snowman. Don't do that.
Understand there's black composers. But they're not pushed out as if they're part of the scene. They've always been obfuscated, you know, from the main scene of it. That's why you can't name any of them that did any in the movies, because it's all the white guys. Because you know why? Who owns the movie producers and the movie studios? The white dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So you think they're just going to allow the black guys to go there and make the most important part of the movie? You know, supposedly, no, they're not. So you gotta. I am definitely not one to say that people have been held back, but I can look from the outside in and say in the music industry that is a major issue, just like in the entertainment industry. In order to get into the entertainment industry,
SKC Rock never stops.
You got to know somebody.
I'll give you that argument. I just want to throw something really quickly, and then I just want to listen. Chaotic Truth. One time you brought up like the alien conversation a while back. I listened to the replay of it. Now, if there was like a little capsule of, I don't know, everything that had to do with humanity, and you only had 2 slots left when it came to music, which one would you throw in to say this is a representation of humanity? Rap or classical music?
Classical music.
No. Hey! Would you put the first?
Guys, he asked.
It doesn't compare.
But Rock, he asked me. He just said chaotic. It's, in my opinion, classical. If this was the representative music, classical. I would never want an alien species to listen to jungle baboon music. Let's be honest. It sounds like jungle baboon music. Rap does. Let's be honest. If you wanted to get the best representation, if you wanted to get the best representation of music to aliens that from humanity, would it be classical or would it be rap?
If you only got those 2 choices,
that's your only 2 choices.
That was mass produced.
Because classical actually, if you listen to it, it actually follows along and it with the Fibonacci sequence most generally too. It's more natural.
Hey, Chaotic, I do have one thing to add to when you was talking about what rap artist does scores, right? And Patriotic, he was right about that, the difference between scores and soundtrack, and somebody else mentioned it too. However, there is a rap artist / producer that has a company that does scores, and he makes a lot of his money doing scores. His name is David Banner.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that dude. Yeah.
If you know anything about David Banner, that's where he makes a lot of his money. He has a company that actually specializes in doing scores for movies.
What's the name of it?
What movies? I have no idea.
Then why would you bring it up? Oh, come on, man.
Well, because you can look his company up. You can look his company up, and he does scores. He actually does scores for movies. Now, you were also saying blockbusters. I don't know. That's where I can say, my knowledge in that is definitely limited, but I do know that he does scores. Absolutely.
Like, think about it, right? When you listen to Star Wars, I'm gonna use Star Wars. It's one of the greatest blockbusters franchises of all time. Da-dum, dum, da-dum. When you hear all that you hear that music all the time. It sets the tone, the scene geography up. I couldn't imagine listening to some hip hop beat. I just couldn't do it. It wouldn't do it for me.
But they're not going to be doing hip hop beats. They're going to actually be doing scores.
Why not?
You couldn't see a trap beat. You couldn't see a trap beat behind that.
Why not use a hip hop beat?
Well,
I bet you
it'll be for
YouTube right now. And find
JT, why not use the sample from, or why not use the background sound from "Today Was a Good Day" or something?
Hey, you know what? Great question. But
great.
Hold on.
Well, you probably would. You would probably put it not as with a low 808 or something like that. It would be more of strings. I mean, you have music where they do actually turn the hip hop beats into mulatto songs, and they can be used as scores. So yeah.
Nick Tow with the $2 super chat says jungle music. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Pastor, what's up, man? And I'm gonna
check this right. So you hear rap music being played or rap type beats being played all over marketing and YouTube and on television right now. Everything they're selling is playing like a rap type beat behind it. Rap music is spread way faster than classical music. You can't say that classical music is a nice type music because at the time, classical music was being played when they was having all kinds of wars as well. So you can't say that classical music is just this nice, brilliant type music. So if I had to pick a music to represent all of humanity and what we really up to present to some aliens, I will go with rap music.
Hey, I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree with that, bro. Even if they were playing war, even if they were, well, no. I'm just gonna slight thing. First off, I'm pretty sure when they were shooting during classical music during war times, the shots were on point. These folks doing drive-bys, listening to rap music is just hitting everything but the target.
Well,
I guarantee you the accuracy was higher during the war with classical music than these drive-bys are with hip hop, with rap music. I guarantee it.
Dude,
I stand by it.
Listen to some Kenny G there.
You know another thing. Snowman and CT. The whole conversation, everybody that's on the whole side of rap, their ideas would be completely different if Beethoven and Mozart were black.
That's a fact.
All of them would be big up in Mozart and Beethoven like it was nothing.
Well, there is a conspiracy theory behind Beethoven being black.
Can I address Pastor real quick? Pastor, I have said this time and time again, the greatest musicians of all time in the history of human beings have always been black. I'm just saying that this specific genre is better than rap. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not saying that.
I don't think the genre is better. Because if you look at the dynamics and how and the emotional changes and all the different, if you listen to classical music, it's actually pretty crazy. The people that write and compose classical music are not sane. Look at how listen to it. How it's
my
composed.
coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
Hey, I just want to say this much about it. Look at the emotional attachment to a lot of these people to rap music. I come up here, I'm a white dude, all right, and I'm talking about rock and roll, blues, and all that stuff. I don't have no attachment emotionally to any of this stuff. So that right there in of itself tells you that there's something about that music that it's really getting inside your head.
I think that rap music is a fine genre, in my opinion. I think that you should grow out of it, just like playing video games. It's cool to play video games when you're 12.
Not
But
when
when
you're
you're about
45.
give me a second. When you're about 25, 26, I think it's about time to put the controller down. It looks
Yeah.
weird. It's almost like the equivalent of playing in the sandbox and you 30. Stop. It looks crazy.
And SKC, I don't
You
appreciate
have
you. You
Christian, you have
actually
Christian rap. You have Christian rap. How have you reduced rap to childhoodish, which is that's what a lot of it is. You
Man,
have
you ain't listening
Christian
to
rap.
no Christian rap.
Yeah,
Stop.
you do have Christian rap.
You
You
ain't
do have
listening to
Christian
no
rap.
Christian. You ain't
There's
listening.
Christian rap, and
and you
actually
have
listen.
grown and you
I
have grown
listen to all
people
kinds of
that
music. I listen to all kinds of music, and for people to come up here and say my opinion is based off of race shows how arrogant you are. Chuck Black, I just lost a lot of respect for you.
I never said your
You see
opinion was
the
about race. I said
Free
you had
Zone's
an
just a
emotional
racist white guy that
attachment
wants
to
to
it.
get up here and talk shit about black people. I can already see through what you got going on over there. At least Chuck is, he's not looking at things always through a racist lens. I'm not looking at this through a racist lens. I'm looking at it through numbers right now. Okay?
Right.
More people listen to classic music.
You mean rap?
Than people that listen to reggae.
Right.
The number one genre in the world is rap. 26% of people.
Rock. Hold on for a second, Rock. How old do you think you should? Okay, what age did you stop playing video games, Rock?
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just asking you.
Stop diverting from the actual. You brought up a topic of rap versus classical music.
I kind of like you better when you smoke weed. You ever smoke weed?
Diverting.
Right.
I'm tired of you diverting.
Right.
Stop diverting.
How old were you when you stopped playing video games, sir?
Stop diverting.
Right. How old were you?
Okay, so
right.
I didn't,
Can you just answer the damn
you need
question?
to change. You need to change it to how old was Rock when he stopped playing video games. That's what the title needs to go to, because we're talking about rap versus classical music.
Okay. All I'm saying is, in my opinion, Rock, I think that you should age out of rap. I think about 19, 20, yeah, you should stop. I think you should go into more higher level forms of music. Now, that's just my opinion.
Higher level
I could be wrong.
I
Just like with
disagree
video
with you.
games. I think after about 23, 24, it looks kind of weird when you got a PlayStation controller.
Well, obviously, I think the only way you have an opinion on rap is turning on the radio. So believe me, that's not the rap that is out there nowadays. A lot of the rap that I listen to is actually independent artists, and
I
these
like Dax
mainstream
too,
artists
dude.
they are stuck to the record labels. So they can only rap about what the record label tells them to rap about.
I got
So
a question for you,
I'm not
Chaotic.
really looking at those people very much.
What's the
What
question,
I'm
Pat?
defending is the people that are actually making good music and that have a good message behind them.
Okay, so my question for you is, why would we age out of rap but not age out of classical music? Isn't classical music an older form of music? So wouldn't we age out of that quicker?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, what did we evolve?
In my opinion, and I could be wrong, rap music is childish. It's nursery rhymes. Hear me out. Just hear me out. I'm answering past the questions. In my opinion, it's nothing but nursery rhymes. It's nothing but fantastical tales of nonsense. And just like a children's story, just like a children's book or a children's movie, eventually you grow out of it. You grow out of the sandbox. You grow out of swinging on swings. Woo! I'm jumping off the swing now. I think that rap is a starter form of music, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's a starter form of music. It's colorful. It looks nice. And I think that more complex music is music that actually uses instruments, actually has talent. Hell, I could start rapping right now and get instead of music. I don't think that a lot of these rappers are talented. I just don't. A lot of these composers have decades and they come from great schools and they come from great lineage. They come from actual reputable sources or institutions. Rappers don't. So yes, you age out of it. So I would say about 23, 24. Go ahead.
Do
19.
you think crime will go down if we listen to classical music over rap music?
Okay, so let me answer that question.
really
Yes,
get it.
yes.
Hold
Oh,
on,
we here now.
Yes.
Oh, we
answer this
here.
question. He's talking to me. In my opinion, no, not with the black community. Classical music, jazz, funk, it don't matter. There is something that is fundamentally wrong with the culture of blacks. So it has nothing to do with the music. Negroes were killing each other in the 30s and the 40s before rap was even around. So no, I don't think that crime will go down. No, niggas.
Yeah,
were killing
and
each other
that's
Niggas were
oh,
killing
I'm
each
sorry.
other listening to niggas were killing each other
That's the
listening
real
to
reason he wanted to
Cameo.
get up here.
Can I
Go on,
talk? Niggas were doing drive-by shootings listening to Cameo. Tastes like candy. Pow, pow,
No,
pow,
you was
pow.
a
Yeah.
lie. Now you lying. Man, you need to cut that out. Chaotic. Let me ask you, chaotic, you lying. No, chaotic. They was in it. Stop that now, because that was my era. My parents and my uncles and aunts, they was in the club. They was in the lounges and they was in the club. Stop that. Chaotic. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with? Are you familiar with James? Are you familiar with James DeWitt Yancey?
Hey man, Angry Snowman want to talk, man. Come on, man.
Chaotic. I can't.
I don't know. I don't know who it
You
is.
know who that is?
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with Jay Dilla?
Yeah.
Okay, that's James
Shout
DeWitt
out.
Yancey.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
so
what about
wait. So when we talk James DeWitt Yancey, we talk about not only his influence on hip hop, just his influence on production and how even to this day, years after his untimely and early death, how his mind thought to manipulate sounds and manipulate samples in the way that he chopped things up. You're saying that that ingenuity can only be achieved like if he was listening to classical music as opposed to being born in Detroit, impoverished, and just making a way out of no way and just, making it do what it do? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Again, Rilla,
You have the
again,
floor, sir.
Again, my good sir. I am one person. I'm just a dude. I am saying that there is no comparison between the two genres. Classical music takes talent. It takes a certain. You have to. Hey man, go ahead, man.
I'm
You have to.
flabbergasted. No, I'm flabbergasted. I'm
making
I'm
beats on
flabbergasted.
Napster. I was making beats on Napster in high school, sir. All you gotta do
I
is
was
okay.
chaotic. Wait. Hold on. But chaotic. I agree with you. That would be the equivalent of any child saying, I was strumming violin or playing cello, right? But you're not a master at it, right? Like if you wanted to use that example, then I could certainly, if you wanted to make the correlation or a comparison like between you and let's say Ninth Wonder who uses Fruity Loops, then that's a fair discussion. That's a fair.
Man,
See, I mean,
yeah.
chaotic.
Yeah,
Come on,
Wonder
man.
real
Real
one.
house,
Real
man.
one.
I mean, I've downloaded Fruity Loops on my computer for free, made a beat in 3 weeks and sold it. So I don't, it's not the.
Can I say this real quick? And I gotta let Snowman get in. No offense.
Did your Fruity Loop beats chart?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Really, can I say something to you real quick? I believe that a lot of music has been diluted. Okay. There are people who can't sing, but they use that. What do they call it? That
Auto-tune.
Auto-tune
Yeah.
nonsense. There's a lot of people who can't sing. There is no woman alive right now that can sing better than Anita Baker or Regina Bell. Nobody. I haven't heard it. All I'm saying
Jasmine
is,
Sullivan.
man, get the fuck out of here. Jasmine Sullivan can't touch no. Do you know who Regina Bell is, sir?
They don't
Do you know who you
force
talking
these
to?
people to
Chaotic?
sing now. They don't
Sir,
have.
there are okay. You know
No.
what? There are opera singers that are black women that will blow the smoke out of Beyonce's.
Oh
opera
yeah,
singing.
by far,
Opera
by far. It ain't even
Mm-hmm.
a comparison.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I agree on that.
But ain't nobody trying to hear that yelling though that them opera singers be doing. Ain't nobody really trying
Actually,
to hear
there are
that.
people trying to hear it, Pastor. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling out
Because
venues.
I hate to say
Man,
it, but
hold on, selling out. How many? That's very, very hard to say. Can we say selling out venues? Okay.
Pastor, no offense.
How many venues and how many shows?
They sell, they sell out
Because,
opera
dude,
houses
just
in
because you
Italy and $2,000 tickets.
And what's the size?
In a matter of hours.
Loretta,
1,500
listen,
people in
Loretta
the
Lynn
building. What
Price.
we do? 1,500 people
Loretta
in the
Lynn
building.
Price.
Pastor, no offense, you just love jungle music. There's nothing wrong with that, sir. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if they sold tickets to rap concerts at the same cost as classical music, nobody would go to rap concerts. Let's just keep it
They
real.
do in the front row.
The other thing too about when it comes to the whole rap thing is people just cannot believe that there could possibly be higher forms of music. They just can't conceptualize that.
Yeah.
Hey, chaotic.
Yo,
this is what you said as far as growing out of hip hop. I tend to kind of agree with what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
This is what I agree with. At 50 years old, I can't see myself rapping what's out here right now, a 23-year-old's lyrics. I know nothing about that life. And I've been through this whole thing of hip hop. However, as far as like right now, I'm growing up. Me and other people that's my age, we've grown up with the birth of what hip hop or what rap actually is, right? So we tend to, when we get to a certain age, when we do listen to rap, we only listen to it from when we were coming up, you know, either teenagers or in our young 20s. Some of it probably be in our 30s, but at some point, I kind of agree with you. I can't be talking about what I was talking about at 20-some years old. However, they do have rap music for our age because it's still growing up, still fairly young. So when I listen to rap music, I tend to listen to Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, go back to Run DMC, all these different things. And then the other music that I listen to, because I go back into, when I was younger. Me sitting here trying to listen to, I don't even know what the hell these goddamn rappers' names is no more until they die. So my whole thing about it is that I grew up with hip hop, and then at some point I just reverted back to R&B. I reverted back to jazz. I reverted to other things because it is higher IQ to me. When it comes down to it, and I'm listening to either contemporary jazz, or that's my preference of listening to it, either contemporary jazz, acid jazz, or whatever it is, that's what I'm going to be listening to. I'm not going to be sitting here with that bass in my car like what I used to. I used to have the Kenwoods and the Pioneers and banging in my car. I can't do that shit now. My nerves be on fucking edge because I'm older now. So I tend to agree with what you said, bro.
So you slow down so the music slow down.
Let's
fair.
Angry Snowman get in for a minute. Angry Snowman, what's up, man? I think he went on mute.
I don't know, man. You go ahead. You guys got it.
No, Snowman. You come in, man. Just please, man. Nobody cut off Angry Snowman. Let the white man talk. Go ahead, Angry Snowman.
No, the white man ain't gonna come here and gentrify your channel. You guys got it.
Well, I'm on your side, man. I'm telling you, I don't care what Eric said, man. I know it sounds like. I mean, it sounds like JT. Do you still play video games?
I ain't played video games since I was 23 years old, man.
And why not? Why not?
I grew up. I got a lot of other things to do.
Okay.
That's just what it is. I'm just not into it. I tried. I bought the last console I bought was probably a PS3. I think that's what it was.
Could you imagine? Now, there are people who are 40, 50 years old still play video games, but if you went to your friend's house and he up there with his tongue out his mouth, I gotta finish this mission. I mean, when you look at that, like that's kind of like childish.
I'm out the door.
You don't have time.
Yeah, I'm out the door.
You don't have time to play video games as a grown man, but on your way to your job, you can listen to some rap music because you have to take that time to drive, and then that time driving to work, you're not listening to classical music. How many people are listening to classical music on their way to work?
A lot.
I don't believe it.
Sir, you're not in everybody's car though. You don't know that.
I gotta say this.
I don't think
I gotta say this. In my playlist, I do have Mozart.
A lot of white people do. They do. They listen to that classical. I listen to it too sometimes. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. It depends on what kind of music I'm going to listen to.
Nick Tower with the $10 super chat says Blacks are the most violent group way before rap, whites listen to rap and don't commit nearly as much violent crime. Is their genetic component to crime or to commit crime? We always ignore. Oh, Nick Tao, come on, man, don't be racist, man. We don't know that. Go ahead, guys. You got the floor.
He does bring an interesting concept to the table, though.
No, I hate when people say that. Though,
Okay, yeah. You know what? Listen, I'm one of the most conservative people, and me hearing that over and over again is all it makes me want to do is go ahead and turn these flames up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because if y'all really want to keep talking all this shit, and believe me, I'm on the side of America, okay? But I'm not gonna sit back and watch these people that are stuck in the hood that have no choice on to commit a crime or not to survive, be continuously attacked by people that probably never done anything in their lives positive for anybody other than themselves. We got to understand that a lot of these black people, yes, they're idiots and they chose to do stupid shit, but a lot of them don't have a choice neither.
Bullshit. Once you become an adult, you have everything is your choice, sir. Everything.
Shut the fuck up for a second.
We got to stop using the F-bomb, right?
I'm sorry, but just be quiet for a second, dude.
No, I'm not, dude, because what you're saying is a complete total absolute
I did not have a
fallacy, dude.
choice. I did not have an ID.
Yes, you did have a choice.
So I could not get a job. You're not listening. You're not fucking listening. Please listen, bro. Before I was 18, I couldn't get a job because I did not have an ID. So what do you expect me to do, sir? Where should I get my money? Where should I
have an ID? Why didn't you have an ID? Most people get an ID by the time they're 15 years old, sir. I'm 44 years old. I had my first ID when I was 15.
I couldn't get one because I didn't have any of the Social Security cards or any of that shit because of my situation.
You know what? I hear excuses.
Besides that, bro, what I'm saying is there's a lot of these people that don't have a choice. There's a lot of these people that do have a choice.
Everyone has a choice.
Knocking over the people that want to do better but have no other choice and saying that they're just lumped in with some retards. They're not, bro.
Hey, yo, play that. I want to hear that bullshit. Yo, play that chaotic. I want to hear
every day, bro.
I'm gonna get a copyright
every single day. And they, you know, they're not bad people, dude. They're forced to do bad things. We got to realize that. You can't just say there's a whole race up here that's they're
no, dude. They are bad people. You know what? I'm gonna tell you
what.
When I was a young man and doing dumbass stuff and committing crimes and had people looking for me, I was a bad person. I wasn't someone who
white though, right?
I wasn't forced to do anything.
Okay, so if a black guy does it, it's because he's predisposed to do it.
Excuses for people doing bad shit.
Okay. I'm not giving no excuses. I'm arguing what you just said earlier, or the other person said, that people are predetermined to commit crime by what they look like. And then you just came up, you agreed with them. And then now you're saying that because you're white, my objection to that is saying that you're white, so you're predetermined to commit crime also? Is that why you committed crime? Or was it a choice?
Maybe. Possibly. Who knows?
It wasn't a choice.
Who knows?
Now back to the conversation.
Tell you this much, it's one of them things that I ain't going to let it get
me.
This
is fundamentally why I asked you about the crime.
Now back to the conversation. Could it be, guys, that maybe people don't like classical music because it, in my opinion, it is a bit more sophisticated type music. That's why the masses of people don't listen to it. It's too orderly. Could that be it? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I like going to jazz little concerts. I can I like going to hearing the band. I feel like I can lay back and chill. But is it the scene, the setting, the stiffness, the regalness of the classical environment? Maybe we're all too primitive to really.
A lot of people I think it's the frequency. I think it's the frequency that we ride off of. Like we were saying, like I listen to a little bit of classical music, but it's depending on the activity that I'm doing. If I'm doing something, especially if I'm like, fixing around my house and something like that, I can listen to classical music. I can listen to jazz. I can listen to shit. I probably can listen to some hip hop also, but it's the frequency and the orderliness that is coming in. When you have a bunch of strings, when you have, wind instruments that's really leading, you don't have a beat that's leading. So it doesn't resonate with a person's lower frequency.
Dr.
So
Josh.
that's what it
that,
is.
that plays to the
Dr.
hurt thing that I was talking about earlier today. You know, most music, I think it was in the 1960s was when they actually changed the frequency. Music used to be recorded in 432 hertz, which was a higher frequency. It was a brighter frequency. It was an uplifting frequency. It was a natural frequency. And then they changed it to 440 hertz when they went from AM radio to FM radio.
I got a question for Dr. Josh real quick. Dr. Josh, you're in New York, right?
No, I'm in Phoenix today.
Okay,
I'm
but
on the West
you were
Coast.
from New York. You're from New
Yeah,
York,
I'm from
right?
Bronx, correct.
Okay, back in the 90s, before you used to go out mugging people, did you listen to rap to get riled up to do that? Or
Mugging people? You got the wrong profession.
I'm playing
But
Dr.
no. But yeah.
No, nothing in New York. No, I'm playing.
One thing I do want to say that you guys are missing, though. See, you keep lumping in rap with being negative, but rap started out positive. If you
We addressed that earlier.
Go ahead,
You
Dr.
can
Josh.
go to the actual year, which is 92. Shout out to Chuck Black. Like to see you represent. But yeah, starting out in 92, it took a downward spiral. Okay. And they started the labels, the major labels, the 6 major labels started pumping money into negative rap music. That's why you didn't have any more Jungle Brothers. You didn't have any more De La Soul. Okay. You know, the Lauryn Hills. You didn't get that push like that.
Talk to him.
Okay, I was signed to a major label called Electra Records. Okay, the reason why we was shelved. Okay, and I'm a street person. I'm a criminal. But the reason why we was shelved, they said we was too conservative because we wasn't like Naughty by Nature with the weapons and all of that. But my thing is this: it's by, you know, come on. It's not like it just happened that these black people are just wild and everything. It's by happen chance. Okay, you look at rap now, it's everything totally against the black community.
Can I show you something, Dr. Josh?
Yeah.
Now, is this before or after 1991?
Is that before or after? But you're okay. You're talking about somebody who that's a one-off. You feel me?
That looks
like
wait. No. Hey, don't fall for that.
When Ice-T was out, okay, that he was basically the start of that. Okay,
don't fall for that.
Who was doing music like that?
Well, look, if you listen to
NWA, don't fall for that. Yeah, but don't fall for that. Chaotic know what he's doing, man.
Dude, Chaotic. I'm asking you. Answer the question. You can't.
Oh my god,
dude. What you know what Dr. Josh is saying?
If you look at it, the same thing with R&B music. Trust me, I'm in an uphill battle with it right now.
What Dr. Josh is saying, there is some truth to it. I mean, you look at the remaining members of NWA, and they talk about how Jerry Heller, that's all he did was sit and push them to push nothing but that negative shit.
Was that before or after? Was that before or after 1992, sir?
Okay, wait.
When that was 85. That label I was signed as that's B-Boy Records.
No. That's by all means necessary.
Paris One.
That's 88.
All right, go ahead.
For all you
No, bro. I was just saying. Yeah, that's 88. That's by all means necessary.
But he actually recorded that album 86, 87. Remember, at that time,
you had a man in his music, and then you had Criminal Minded.
So you just did what you said you wasn't going to do earlier. You were applying rap to violence, and I asked you, would the violence go down if they got rid of rap? And you said it wouldn't. But now you are really telling your truth, Chaotic. What a chaotic truth. You do believe rap is violence. You do believe
that. He said after 19. Sir, wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Go back 5 or 10 minutes. Dr. Josh says after 92, that's when rap went downhill with the violence. All I was doing was showing a rap album from Ice-T.
What did that represent though, Chaotic? Those album covers, that's why I said don't go down that rabbit hole with them. We was there, bro.
That Paris One album, violence. He's talking about what's going on right now. My 9mm says it wasn't like he was saying.
Well,
hey, Doc, what was on that album? What was on that album? 1, 2, 3. The crew is called BDP. And if you want to go to the tip top, stop the violence in hip hop. Why yo?
One of the biggest movements was put out by KRS-One called "Stop the Violence." You know what?
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I gotta put everybody in the bag now. Correct. I have cataracts. No, I don't. I have astigmatism. He's talking about stop the violence, but he has a Tech 9 in his hand. I don't get. Okay, maybe my logic is off, Dr. Josh. My logic is off. He's talking about stop the violence, but he has a Tech 9 in his hand. Is that a Tech 9 or a Mac 10?
He's doing.
Why?
That's a Uzi. That's a Uzi.
Oh, Uzi. Yep.
Thank you. Somebody please tell him.
So you're
Somebody
against the
please
Second
tell him.
Amendment now because how you stop violence is a good. You stop a bad man with a gun with a good man with a gun.
No, somebody was saying.
No.
explain
That was about that right there was about Malcolm X. It was the same thing about any means necessary. That's basically what that was. Instead of the shotgun, the Mossberg, he had the Uzi. And that's what he was doing. He wasn't talking about going out there and doing drive-bys. That was nothing about doing drive-bys at all. It was actually about fighting for the rights. He was actually empowering black folks with that album. If you hear that album, the album was dope, man.
But it was talking about. Since you're doing that, put Public Enemy up.
Yeah.
Nobody.
My Uzi weighs a ton.
Lost their funding. You know why they lost their funding with Def Jam? They were selling records. Remember that? They brought that buffoonery rap in. Okay. And then on top of it, if you look at hip hop, they tried to stop hip hop. How? With house music. Okay. Remember all those rappers, they started putting a hip house record on there. Like, come on now. At every step. Playing that classical crap. That classical stuff can't even hold hands with rap.
You Negroes don't hold it.
Wait a minute. I'm a hip hop purist too, but y'all gotta chill on the house music, man. I'm from the south side of Chicago. House music.
I'm from Detroit.
It kept me out of doing a lot of stuff.
Yep.
And listen, EDM is the biggest benefactor of house music. So we gotta relax.
Yes.
But listen, I'm with you with Jungle Brothers, Girl House. I'm with you.
They trying to say black people didn't start that either.
Which is crazy.
So, Dr. Josh,
that's crazy.
But I do got a
classical music
question.
or rap, Dr. Josh?
What's up?
Classical music or rap? Which one, sir?
All day rap. Rap has standed the test of time. Transcend the whole world, man. Your classical
Hey, Dr.
music
Josh.
on a bad day.
Dr. Josh. Hey, my name is Rakim Allah. The R-A stands for Raw. Switch it around. It still comes out R.
That's right. Yeah. Go ahead. Spit some of that on classical.
No, chaotic. Chaotic did get it. Like, come on, man. Our people
April
are
26,
brilliant.
1992, there was a riot on the streets. Tell me, where were you? While you were sitting home watching your TV, I was participating in some anarchy. First spot we headed was my liquor store. The only...
Oh, Chuck, stop it.
What do you know about that? That's sublime. That's sublime.
Oh, listen. Wait, hold on. I got you. I take 7 MCs, put them in a line, and add 7 more brothers who think they can rhyme. Right?
And that takes 7 more.
I go behind. Now it's 21 MCs ate up at the same time.
Hey, Chuck,
man, y'all
check this
better
out.
stop, man.
I got a rap for you, Chuck.
What I'm getting at, though, is, I don't understand why, you got Sublime, who put out 40 Ounces to Freedom, which was their biggest album, and it was nothing but violent shit. Violent, what they saw, that was considered ska music, the new age reggae and Southern California. And then you got bands like Rage Against the Machine, same thing. They put out nothing but violent uprising music, and you didn't see the people that listen to that music going out and shooting people up and robbing people and this, that, and the other. You just didn't see it. You didn't see their concerts getting shot up, and things like that.
But you also didn't see their communities being stripped of resources. Okay, and the reason I always bring up Europe, I mess with Europe real hard, and Europe got some slums where they get real crazy and just.
Sir. First off, we're not talking about Europe. We're talking about America.
No, I'm just saying.
Secondly, Zach De La Rocha did come from the ghetto, and he's the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine, so he knew the culture. He was speaking. I
came from the ghetto, and I'm in the suburbs. So what does that mean?
That means you have black flight, and you left your own people.
No, unlike you, I'm able to switch it up.
I never thought
That's the fucking difference, buddy.
No, I can
Dr.
switch it up.
That's
You,
the
you,
more
you,
part.
you, you
I don't
be
have to put black in my name, okay, and not be black. I'm black and I'm white. There,
Dr.
get that
Josh,
part
do you?
right.
Dr. Josh, do you? Dr. Josh,
But I
do
go
you
by
still-
blackness more. You know why? Because the black is the most dominant gene on the planet. Get that right. Just like my white grandmother taught me, 2 white men cannot make a black baby. Well, 2
white
people
men
got it.
can't make nothing.
Yeah. Get
Dr.
that
Josh,
right.
Dr. Josh, do you still listen to? I'm sorry, not listen. Do you still play video games too?
I never did. I was into making money. Yeah. That part.
So, you know, I have said that rap is like starter music, right? You know, because to me, it's just like nursery rhymes. You know, do you agree? No, that's just my opinion.
Have you heard that record Nas made about the reverse?
Dr.
Maybe
Josh,
you didn't.
Dr. Josh, I know all about Nas. It was written. I know all about that. It was written. It was trash though. But I know all about that. Yeah, it was. So I only say this because Illmatic is such a masterpiece that he kind of shot himself in the foot with that album because everything else would have to have been better, and it's pretty much impossible to do. So I don't think it was written or I Am or Stillmatic was on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Each his own, no. So what would you deem your best album in rap?
Reasonable Doubt.
Are you serious?
Reasonable Doubt without it.
So you like that? So you like that Corner Boy rap, right?
I love that staccato, underworld, subliminal.
You know, Jay-Z, that first record he put out. You know he stole that from my peoples from my hood, right? Look it up, Camp Low. Yeah, feel it in.
Camp Low. Yeah, I know Camp Low.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know Camp Low. Yeah. This is it.
That's
The
one of
whole
my sons-
Carlito's
that's one of my
Way.
sons made right. But you know what? And you know what, Camp Low? Hold on. They're from two blocks away. We grew up together. Now, you know what?
Really?
They were signed with Arista. You know why they was shelved? Okay?
Why?
Because they wasn't doing that murder rap. That part. That's one of the and they have skills, right? They have skills, right?
You know music.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Exactly. They were shelved because they wasn't doing the murder rap. Okay.
You do know music can't be stolen, right? Music influences music. It's that simple, dude. Music can't be stolen.
Stop it, Chuck. We don't believe you.
Oh, you're stupid.
Why are you calling names? I'm not calling names. You don't want me to start calling names out.
Because music is meant to influence. You can't steal music. Music influences music.
Okay,
Everything's
Chuck.
influenced
All right,
everything.
Chuck. Say that shit in the cipher in the Bronx. They'll smack the shit out you.
Music can be stolen, brother. I mean,
Yeah, he
that
don't
was
know
the
what the
whole
fuck he's
premise
talking
of especially if we're talking about rap, the whole premise of rap was not biting another person's style, not biting another person's rhymes. It was a whole lot of stuff that we had. That's what we was talking about when it came down to the gatekeepers of hip hop. My whole thing is that the gatekeepers who are supposed to be the gatekeepers are not the gatekeepers. It's the ones that have the money. It's the big executives that have the power to be able to take this thing called rap and be able to market it worldwide. The people that should have marketed it worldwide aren't marketing worldwide because they don't have that type of a power, or they don't see their power within it.
You guys are just missing the point that I'm trying to get across. You know, music itself, you can steal an artist's music. Yes, there's copyright laws as far as that goes, but music is meant to influence people. Music isn't meant for one culture specifically. It's meant to bring cultures together. That's what music is for.
I can agree with that, but capitalism had knocked that out the box. You know, it is what it is.
I thought in the Camp Low Lucchini video they were actually robbing a bank, though. I can't remember. I thought it was a bank in the Lucchini video.
No, he's talking about the video where they threw the mask on. Come on now, that was
Lucchini.
That's just like you watch the movie, and if you know Suede and them, they're totally against that. But see that there you go again with we can't do something the other side could do.
Yeah, that was more like that was more like it was like a movie type look to it.
No, it was part of the video, man. Come on,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that was Lucchini, by the way, SKC, and I thought they were robbing a bank or something. In the yeah. Let's see.
That was the splice for the video. Some video they did with the Diggable Planets. I think it was his name, Butterfly. But anyway, Yeah.
Let me see. CPB says if Nas had never made another album, Illmatic is still the best hip hop album of all time. Yeah, Illmatic is. It's
like Stillmatic?
I like Stillmatic, but I keep on saying I think that he shot himself in the foot because Illmatic was such a masterpiece. That
What about Lauryn Hill?
Lauryn Hill was the Fugees. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah. I don't know why
she could never surpass that. Just like what you was just saying about Illmatic. It was like, he did some great work, and how you surpass something like that.
Nah, you crazy. She has a solo album. I had somebody that was working with her. She just has some mental problems, but yeah, she's phenomenal. Like I said,
Nick Tiles being racist again says blacks have the dominant can't read or do math gene. Like I said, and thank you so much again, Nick Tile and everybody else who sits over super chats. I guess my argument is, and I guess we can agree to disagree. I just don't view rap in the same light as other people. I just think classical music is the highest form of music for some reason, in my opinion. It's just me though. Yeah.
Some people feel the same way about jazz.
Yeah, jazz is up there. Yeah, I said jazz is my close number 2. I'm talking about real jazz, not Kenny G's jazz. I'm talking about real old school jazz with instruments and
What would you say has the most impact though? Wouldn't you say rap?
I would say classical. I would say classical.
Worldwide? Yeah.
Worldwide, I would say classical. In my opinion, I would say classical.
Because you see rap in more commercials, more.
Yeah, I mean, rap is very commercial. I'll admit that all day. But when you go into places of esteem, like an art museum, when you go into like places where it's fine dining, you hear classical music. If rap was really, how come they don't play rap at a Michelin star restaurant? I've never been to all the Michelin star restaurants, but how come they don't play rap at like high level places?
Maybe because those people.
But then again, maybe they do.
They're not there yet. Maybe just like the Super Bowl. When's the last time you seen a classical act at the Super Bowl, for example?
Never seen it. Never.
Yeah. And you never will.
Yeah, never
But,
will. It's not. Yeah.
But to go to Chuck's point, music is borrowed from one to the next, and hip hop has borrowed a lot from classical music. It has.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like, if you hear some of this rap, like especially when you got rappers that actually is into the science of their sound, you will hear that they take out the drums, and they would be led with, the strings. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, Nas, when he did that whole, when he turned his what was that he did with the classical music? When he did where was he at? He did a whole thing where he had the symphony behind him.
Okay.
Doing, I think it was Illmatic that he did, and he did it all in with the symphony right behind him, and all of his classic songs he did it with them. So
yeah,
it was kind of dope to be able to cross that over what we call abstract.
Yeah,
it was kind of like the way that he did it.
SKC is right. We got notion to bring it, sing it. Never been my function. Stone and robbing. We heisting merchandise and gunning. You are absolutely right, SKC. They were talking about robbing. Damn. But I think it was more like what Dr. Johns is talking about. I think
that's lyrics, man. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, at least they're talking about robbing like a location, like a jewelry store or something like that. They're not talking about robbing somebody specifically, SKC. Let's see here. Who else is in the chat real quick? Uchi Wally, that was a good song. Boss Style says classical music modes are the foundation for music. Okay. CPB says it was Illmatic album, Kennedy Center, that was awesome. Suited up, rapping Illmatic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What other than that? Oh, wait a minute. Sean Turner says Metallica with the San Fran Orchestra was insane. Loved it. I gotta look that up.
That was
Let's
dope too.
see. Louis Farrakhan with classical orchestra. Yes, Louis Farrakhan played the what did he play, guys?
The violin.
Was it the violin?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know he was a calypso singer. Oh, okay. Well, guys, I don't know anything else, man. Or what's up, Angry Snowman?
Yeah, I'd put baby down for a nap.
Who's that?
I said put baby down for a nap.
Okay. Angry
Hey,
Snowman, what's
Chuck,
up?
you have a good day, Chuck. Hold it down.
You too.
No doubt. Much love.
Enjoy them 4 houses.
Huh?
I said enjoy.
I gotta get back to the plantation, man.
Enjoy them 4 mansions you got.
No, not mansions, just little houses, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all, man. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, and I'm still working my butt off. You know why?
I sit
When
on
I
a 2
die,
acre
that legacy's gonna be there.
I sit on a
that
2 acre
part.
plantation. I'm building my own sweatshop as we speak.
You build your own sweatshop. Go ahead. Damn, you doing that in America? Damn, man. But one thing I want to ask you though, why you like to call names? Like every time we talk, then you say, "Oh, that's stupid," or you know, that's not constructive.
That's not calling names, dude.
No,
that's really not saying that's stupid. Is not calling names. You ain't heard me call names, not yet.
Okay.
So we got some breaking news. Don Lemon has been fired.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was dead.
Don Lemon said he was fired by CNN without warning. Network blast inaccurate statement. Prominent CNN host Don Lemon on Monday announced that he was fired or had been fired after 17 years at the cable news network, Commie News Network. That's what I call it. I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. Lemon wrote in a statement posted on Twitter, "I am stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. His departure was swift. Lemon had appeared on CNN this morning. Earlier in the day, the network confirmed the news in a statement. CNN and Don have parted ways. CNN chief executive Chris Leach, I'm assuming, said in the statement, Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well and will be continuing to cheer him on." I'm not gonna read the rest of this, but Don Lemon, salute to you.
He looked pretty white in that picture.
Yeah, he was pretty much of a diva on the set, a monster to work with. Did you see that interaction he had with the Indian guy who might be running for president, Republican?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole thing myself.
Yeah. I'm glad Don Lemon is gone.
He's
I don't
a
even
race
like
baiter anyhow.
He is a race baiter.
He's a race baiter married to a white guy.
Married to a white man living in the Hamptons. Isn't that a bitch? Yeah.
The irony.
Yeah, and Tucker Carlson was also fired today as well. Yeah, what say you guys about that?
Didn't Tucker quit? I thought Tucker quit.
I don't know. It was rumors. So I got both. I got that he quit and he was fired. So
I got to get up out of here, fellas, man. I appreciate it. All right, man. Y'all have a nice one, man.
Yeah, you too, brother.
All right, now.
If Tucker got fired, though, it's no different than when they fired what's his name that owns the Blaze. You know, and when they fired Bill O'Reilly too. Before that, if you think about it, every time Fox News a reporter gets to where they actually start telling the truth about things and going against the grain and telling the truth about the establishment and everything that's going on, if you think about it, they let them go at that point. Once they start speaking on some real level stuff.
Yeah, they got to get you up out of there, man. As soon as you go.
Yeah, Glenn Beck. That's who it was.
Yeah, Glenn Beck. Okay. So what say you, man? Before go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What say you before I end this, man, about this whole topic, man? You know, everybody was cutting each other off as usual. What say you, man?
Well, like I said earlier, man, you can see that there's a weird emotional attachment to rap music.
Yeah.
That I don't
Almost
understand.
childish, like, yeah.
You know, because look, I mean, you could say whatever you want about rock and roll, blues, metal, death metal. I mean, I don't know how many different genres of music the white folks listen to, and you don't see us getting emotionally attached to it like that. It's weird in a way.
No.
You know, I don't understand it. You know, I really don't. And then see, the thing is that there's more than just rap music. You know, that represents the black community. You know, there's rhythm and blues. There's blues. Yeah. You know, there's a gospel music. I mean, there's all kinds of music that represents them, you know? So I don't understand why it seems like there's this big emotional attachment to rap music and why they think that it's got to be you know, gate kept for one, and you know, it's got to stay true to the black community. I mean, music's music, in my opinion. You know, I think music was meant to be shared with people and for people, for everybody to enjoy. I mean, if you think about it, do you think that when the rappers of the early 90s, you know, the gangster rappers like NWA that were just trying to get their message out there, tell what kind of lifestyle they were growing up, do you think that they were putting that out there hoping that people that already lived that lifestyle and knew about it were the ones that were going to hear it? No, they were putting it out there hoping that people like myself would hear it so they would understand what their situation was. You know?
You have a good point. Yeah. Blur says country music is a cult too.
It is. Country music isn't even country music anymore. You know, country music is more, in my opinion, it's turned into pop music.
Let's see. Nick Top says, you can't be based and be on national television. No, hell no.
I just, you know, for me, I just have a hard time understanding why you have all this violence surrounding, you know, rap concerts and rap music, you know, and there really are, when it comes to rock and roll, death metal, you know, and the stuff that I grew up to. I grew up to a lot of violent lyrics myself, you know, in the music that I listened to, you know, Megadeth, Metallica, Marilyn Manson, Korn, you know, there's a lot of violent lyrics in that stuff. Tool, you know, and you know, you got Nine Inch Nails. These bands weren't singing happy music, but you didn't see kids shooting up concerts.
No, you didn't.
You know, like I said, you know, the mosh, the slam dancing is what they first started calling it. You know, era that started with us white kids going out there trying to beat the crap out of each other at concerts. You know, it evolved into mosh pits. You know. You don't see us beating each other to a bloody pulp to where people are in the hospital most generally. Sometimes, sometimes incidents do happen, but for the most part, people have respect for each other. You don't see it turning into a big, you know, big death fight.
Could there be a mosh pit at a all black concert?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I've seen black folks. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really good, you know, like dude brought up a black metal bands. You know, you got Sepultura, they had a black lead singer in that band. You know, Seven Dust, same thing, black lead singer. And then you got Straight Line Stitch. They're a heavy metal band, and it was a black female singer who would get people riled up.
What's the name of the band?
Straight Line Stitch. And I mean, she sings all kinds of crazy shit, and she gets the crowd rowdy as hell. But at the same time, you know, I'm just saying, there's something that's got to be weird or different. That's weirdly different about the way rap music is presented and what it's doing, because yes, there were kids in you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s that did commit suicide because of the, you know, some of the stuff in grunge music. You know, it happened. That was part of the white culture. You know, but we weren't going out and killing other people because of it.
Right.
You know, and that's the difference there. We weren't going out and shooting up neighborhoods over it. We weren't going out and, you know, ending people's lives and robbing places because of it. You know, so that's why I said, you know, as much as I hate, you know, it was kind of like a racist comment, but what the dude said was, is there something innately in black people that makes them want to go out and get violent when they hear that kind of stuff? Because look, you got white kids that listen to the same rap music and they aren't going out and shooting up neighborhoods.
No, they're not.
And if you think about, let's keep it a buck. White kids are the ones that buy 80% of the fucking rap music. You know, so I mean, what's going on here? And white kids are actually trying to emulate these gangsters, but they ain't taking it so far to where they're going out and shooting people up. I mean,
no, they're not. No, they're not.
Yes, I mean, you have your school shootings and shit like that, but I mean, it's just,
you know, honestly though, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't have any kids, but if I did, I would actually want to keep them away from most genres of music other than like classical, old school jazz, etc.
Like I said, my kids listen to like, we'll let them listen to some of the R&B. I like letting them listen to blues music. I'll let them listen to like 60s and 70s, you know, rock and roll, you know, like Leonard Skinner and, you know, the Doors, you know, Pink Floyd, stuff like that, you know, because I don't think it's harmful. You know, I introduced both of them to blues music real early on because I love blues, you know. In case you guys didn't know, John Mayer is one of the greatest blues players of the modern day right now. But I refuse to let them listen to violent stuff. I won't even let them watch violent things on TV.
You're saying this white dude is one of the best blues guys out right now?
John Mayer. You know John Mayer?
Yeah, he's a white guy.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
Get you up out of here talking about some white dude is the best at blues. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
No, dude, I was just going to say, you know, he's actually he was taught how to play blues guitar and played with B.B. King.
Well, yeah, he comes from a good tree. Then he comes from a good tree.
You know, so you know he's actually revered as one of the greatest blues players of our era. I'm not saying of all time. I'm saying of our era.
Right, I heard you. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, yeah, good point. Boss Style says, have you wondered why cartoons like Bugs Bunny have classical music in the background? Yeah.
It takes away from the violence.
Takes away from the violence. It creates a set and setting, screen geography. It does a great job.
That's why it was called Merry Melodies, too, originally.
It was called that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, well, I'm about to get the hell up out of here. I got
a good show, man. Honestly, it really was. I mean, I think that people need to actually start having more discussions like this. Honestly, you know, it's something that needs to be talked about. You know, obviously, obviously, like I said, there's people that are emotional about it that really don't like talking about it, though.
Yeah,
you know, must hit. And the only thing I can say to that is it must hit home.
Yeah,
you know.
Did you get my whole analogy about video games and classical music and rap?
Yeah, because I stopped playing video games in my. Granted, I was a late guy, but I stopped playing video games in my early 30s. You know.
Yeah.
See, the only thing I was confused about is like, I understand what you're saying about certain things you should grow out of, but when it comes to music is one of them things that I don't know if you can grow out of it.
Yeah.
You know, because music is one of them things that once you actually listen to something, it attaches itself to your soul in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because music really does speak to you in a different way than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, think about it. When you're going through when you're mad, everybody has it. When they're mad and angry, they have certain bands that they like to listen to. When they're happy and joyful, they have certain music that they like to listen to. When they go into work out, they have certain music they like to listen to. You know, when they're at work, there's specific music they like to listen to.
Do you still listen to and sing the rhymes of like Sesame Street or
Okay, SKC, God dang it. Actually,
like that?
you know what the thing is I do still sing along to Blues Clues because I have a 3-year-old, so I sing along with her.
That's I mean that's normal.
I'm just talking about you're out on the road and it's just you driving, you going
No,
to
I'm
the
not
bar,
singing.
to your friend's house, and you pop in the Blues Clues, man.
No, I'm not doing that. You're right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I heard the song Wishbone, I probably would sing that to myself or out loud. Watch the story, Wishbone. It's childhood stuff, you know.
I mean, I know every time I hear the hot dog song from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, I sing it.
Bananas in pajamas. But what I'm saying is that I think that rap is like that. You just grow out of it, you know.
But I get what you're saying, SKC. Yeah. You know, I do, but that's kind of like it. You're going to an extreme on that. To a degree.
Well, even if you take it out of the extreme, you can tell by a lot of the language that is used that it's more than just music. When a lot of not all, but a lot of guys that have that emotional attachment to rap, because they'll use words like, "See, that was real." And it's like, and it's like, come on. You know that it's more than just the music. It was a lifestyle, and in that lifestyle is a lot of things so far as the veneration of violence, you know, dealing with somebody if they look at you the wrong way or if they disrespect you It gives cues as to how a person should purport themselves and act or react to certain situations. To take it even further, you and Chaotic Truth, let me know if I'm lying. Let me know if I'm lying on this, okay? And I don't want to go too far into it or whatnot, but if I was to say, you know what, and please don't out me. Please don't out me here. But if I was to say, you know what, we have a commonality, and then I said to you, out of the, if I was to say the Invictus poem, and you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now on the opposite side of that is when it comes to rap and so forth.
Yeah.
People will quote rappers.
Yeah.
As if it is gospel. I can sit up with Chaotic and be like, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole. Thank God for me for my uncomfortable soul. And then he'll get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But then on the opposite side of that, dudes will be like, yeah, man, you just like Jay-Z said, just like Pac said, just like and they'll be basing that off of like that is real stuff that people should be acting and doing.
Right. I get what you're saying. I mean,
where are the people that are saying, man, just like Kurt Cobain said?
Well, Kurt Cobain's dead, so
just like just name whatever pop artist that you want. Where are those conversations?
I get what you're saying. I do. I mean, because look, there is some validity to what Chaotic said about you do grow out of some things. Like I used to be a big ICP fan. I don't listen to ICP anymore. As a grown man, that was something that I listened to when I was in high school and a young adult. I used to be a huge Eminem fan. I really don't listen to Eminem hardly at all anymore. And as far as even a lot of the heavy metal and shit, beyond, what you are right now that I think about it, because as I've gotten older, the heavy music, the death metal, the heavy metal, the just speed metal and stuff, I don't listen to it anymore like I used to. It's more of the acoustic music and the blues style music and laid back mellow music is what I listen to as an older cat.
I'll tell you something else before I go, Snowman. Back in the day, I used to like rap, like up to like I'll say late college and so forth. But when I was kind of like getting away from it, I found myself listening more just to the instrumentals than the actual music itself. And then I just got to a point where I was like, oh, okay, there's a whole bunch of other stuff out here. It just doesn't interest me anymore.
Well, look, I hit the point, SKC. I don't know if you hit it yet, but I hit the point to where I was like the one guy said, I used to have, subs in my car, big 15s amp, system, all that stuff, everything pounding and beating and blowing my eardrums out. And now I drive down the road and don't listen to nothing. I like complete and total silence. Where'd he go?
He dropped off. Yeah. All right, man.
I think I guess I do get what you're saying about you do outgrow it, because even me, I'm not in. Even though I like having this stuff, and every now and again, it's nice to have for nostalgic reasons. It's nice to listen to for nostalgic reasons. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, in my everyday life, I'm not listening to it.
No, not at all. Well, thanks, man. I'll be back Wednesday, man. You've been as always, a good panelist.
Yep.
And like I said, we all have our different perspectives and opinions on it as well. Let me see. Con Shinery says, if Tupac was so great, why did his lifestyle lead him to be murdered? He'd be better off if he was alive and his music was forgotten. Blue Country said, there are studies. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say what's crazy about Tupac is his career only lasted, I think, 3 years?
Oh, damn.
It was only 3 years long.
Sorry.
Blue Cousin says there are studies that say
there
are studies that say that music tend to gravitate towards is the music we listen to as adolescents. That's why every generation says their music is the best or better than the next. What's up?
All right, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on? I'm about to get up out of here, but what's
Big up.
going on, man?
I know. I'm so sorry. I missed
No,
most
you're
of the
good.
show. I was listening in the background.
What's
My vote is classical music always, and that is because of the amount of effort it takes. I don't know any hip hop rappers that can play 12 different instruments, but Mozart could. The thing is,
I can play 4 different instruments.
well, there you go. But what I'm saying is that when these guys talk about hip hop artists versus classical artists, Mozart, Chopin, Vivaldi, really, you want to compare yourself to them? These are gods looking down upon ants in comparison. You can't even begin to compare those. They're saying that somebody earlier on said that, hip hop is global. It's been around the world. They're still talking about it. It stood the test of time. Mozart stuff, we're talking hundreds of years. Hundreds of years, people are still listening to his music. Chopin, again, Vivaldi. Oh man, what was this? There's like a whole bunch of them. I gotta actually bring my list of.
It does premium fool. It does count. If you can beat on a 2x4 to a real good beat, it does count as playing an instrument.
So let me ask you this question then, Hafez. Why? You heard these grown men. Some of these men were almost 50. And I'm not trying to knock them, but you heard them and they were talking about rap and they gave some good arguments. And like I said, I could be wrong, they could be right. But why do you think they have this sentiment towards rap?
Look, I'll be honest, and this is something that I noticed. There's a whole bunch of African Americans on this panel that were not talking about any African music. I don't know. I saw a whole bunch of supposed African Americans who have not even one person mentioned music from Nigeria. And Nigeria is producing some very good music, by the way. And Sierra Leone and other places in the continent, they're actually producing some very good music. Not a single African American mentioned African music. So the way I see it is, the reason I think the African Americans revere hip hop so much is all these other musics that we mentioned, especially classical, is a white man's music. Let's be honest. There are very few, or in fact none that I know of, classical sort of classical music composers that were from the African continent. So maybe that's what it is. I mean, I myself actually have a whole other genre of like Middle Eastern Iranian music that I listen to, which nobody in this panel or most English panels would even have a clue about. But that's my thing. That's my sort of history and background. And I think hip hop is the African American, and hip hop, rhythm and blues, by the way, blues music, jazz. These are the historical classical music, if you will, of the African man who was taken to America. This is what they have. This is their base for culture and history. And so they bounce from that point upwards. They don't go to the classical music because the classical music doesn't resonate with them. It's not of their heritage, I guess. And I don't blame it. People do want to, there's a saying, birds of the feather flock together. People who are of the same ilk want to get close together, and they want to become a community, and they come together. That's what happens in these sort of different cultures. I mean, people claim, oh, we're a melting pot. America is a melting pot, but people know people. People know people of their own background, their own kin, if you will. And so I think that is why most African Americans will divert towards rhythm and blues, jazz, hip hop, because that is their culture. Effectively, that is their heritage. Mozart doesn't really. Why would an African American relate to Mozart, or to some to the Russian composers, or to some Italian opera? Why would an African American relate to Carmen?
Hafez.
Hey, and real quick, I was wrong about Tupac's career. It was actually from 91 to 96, so it was 5 years.
Hafez, I'm the Negro Whisperer. Now, please, white people don't say, hey, I know this guy who's the Negro Whisperer.
I'm telling everybody.
I'm the Negro Whisperer, and one thing I will never do is lie. A lot of Black Americans have a problem with admitting that somebody from a different culture might be better at something. Nobody bats an eye when black people are told that they're the greatest entertainers, they're the greatest, singers and dancers, the greatest athletes. But the moment that you say, "Hey man, do you think Mozart is better than Tupac?" No, that ain't true. That ain't true. I'm like, dude, Mozart's music, like you said, it's been around for hundreds of years. It transcends time. It's timeless. It's in musical scores.
It's in rap music.
It's in movie scores. It's in rap music.
Yes.
I'm like, this man obviously was a great in his own right, but it's this thing in African American culture a lot where you just can't admit when certain people or certain cultures are better at certain things, And I feel like the conversation between classical music is one of it. Like when people are saying Kanye is a genius, I find that hard to believe. What is he a genius of? He doesn't know how to play any instrument. He doesn't dance. He doesn't sing. He uses auto-tune.
How is he a genius? Everybody thought he was crazy for the last 6 years. How is he a genius all of a sudden?
The thing is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Dr. Dre's work. I think he's brilliant, especially in his production. I love Eminem. I love Tupac, Biggie. Those were the people I grew up with. Those were the California Love was one of the most instrumental music in my life. And Nas. What was it? And even Grandmaster Flash. No one even on this planet mentioned Grandmaster Flash. He's instrumental, I think, for me in hip hop, at least from my perspective.
Well, I think somebody made a really valid point earlier when it's really the music producers that are actually producing the real music, though. I mean, if you didn't have them producing the beats and everything for these people to actually rap and speak over, they'd have nothing.
Well, this is why I would say someone like Dr. Dre is actually a genius versus Kanye West, because Dr. Dre, if you listen to his production and the elements and the influences he takes from everywhere. I've heard him use Middle Eastern influences. He's used Indian influences, as in Southeast Asian, Asian subcontinent influences. He's used African influences. He has used music clips and samples from all over the world.
Hafez. And honestly, it could also be a very American-centric view of the world. Like, for example, we look down on soccer. We as Americans, we look down. We don't refer to that as football. And I feel like it's not just Black Americans, particularly the ones who are on the panel, who said that classical was not better or gave reasons as to why rap is better. It's a very American-centric view of the planet. Like, our music here is just the best. Our sports are the best. Our people are the best. I think it's a very imperialistic view, which I don't see a problem with it necessarily. But
that's how all empires are. The Persians, the Romans, the Egyptians. You think they didn't have their own particular view of the world? They wanted to shape the world in their own vision. The British, particularly.
Speaking of a god, people, if you're wondering who that white guy is on Hafez's shirt, that is the legendary comedian Bill Hicks. He died, unfortunately, at a very young age, but he was the Michael Jordan, if you ask me, of the 90s of comedy. Stand-up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it was way beyond his time.
Hey, I'm a to the dude that said, "Can you get pussy playing Mozart?" Dude, Yngwie Malmsteen got lots of pussy playing Mozart on his guitar. I'm telling you what, lots of it.
You should listen to some Mozart or Beethoven when you are hitting that cheeks. Believe me, I don't see what it's like.
Yeah. Louis, what's up, man?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that, like, Mozart was a really weird fellow, honestly. He had like a scat fetish, and he like really liked poop and making weird jokes like that.
Are you a troll? Like, what are you talking about?
Mozart was an odd person, and yes, he died penniless. He died literally. His wife had to take out a loan to buy him a coffin to bury him in, because he had no money when he died. He partied all his money away. He partied all the time, but that doesn't take away from his absolute genius.
I think it's hilarious.
Different level.
I think it's hilarious, honestly, that like who's considered like the greatest musician of all time died penniless. Honestly, I think that's so. But no, honestly, like I'm not joking. Like you can literally just look up Mozart scat fetish, and there's a bunch of articles about him like loving poop and stuff. He wrote a letter to his cousin asking her to poop in his mouth.
No, he didn't. Is this true?
Yes, he did. Look it
Really?
up. It's on Google. It's on
I haven't heard
Wikipedia.
that one. I don't
It is
know.
on
But he was
Wikipedia.
I mean, I'm not going to deny he was very, very
But
eccentric.
you have, but who was the rap artist that gouged out his own eye a few years ago?
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
Oh yeah, rappers have done a lot of crazy things too.
Oh no, absolutely. That's just what I'm trying to say. You know,
I
like
know.
these artist type, they tend to be a little bit crazy.
But
Yeah.
but let's be honest. In 200 years from now, which hip hop artists will be remembered?
Keep it real. Keep it real.
And would Mozart will still be remembered? Would Beethoven still be remembered? I guarantee you, they'll still be on the cards. Their music will still be playing. Their operas will still be showcasing. But I don't know, apart from maybe people like Tupac or Dr. Dre's work. I don't see a lot of other hip hop artists standing.
I don't know. I think Eminem will stand the test of time.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Just because of the intricacy and his writing ability. He does got some really intricate bars.
I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like there's a certain amount of like respect for like a pianist or like an orchestra, and you don't really see that much respect for, say, like rap. So like I could see sometime in the future like sort of these popular rappers, their careers, they won't be as popular in the future because it's not seen as regal to like rap than it is to play the piano and play Mozart.
I'll be honest with you. The reason most of these people, I keep saying I'll be honest with you. I don't know. It's just a figure of speech. But let's face the facts. Kanye West in 200 years' time will not be mentioned. There'll be barely any mention of Kanye West in 200 years from now. But the reason a lot of these artists will not be mentioned, and millions, I'm sure, people came and went during even Mozart's time, is because learning how to play all the instruments in a classical band, it takes tremendous amount of work. To just learn the violin alone is like 7 years minimum.
Well, to play it in an orchestra setting is even totally different.
Orchestra,
I remember watching my daughter. She was in the band in school, man, and the level of practice that she had to do just to have her timing right and be able to follow the conductor and know what he's doing and who he's talking to, and it's totally different. I mean is,
every person in an orchestra, every person who's playing an instrument, you can guarantee they're pretty much a master of their own instrument that they're playing, and they are only a minor portion of a massive ensemble. But what I want to say is anything that is of value to human beings requires work and effort. If something comes easy, it will not be valued in the future because it required no effort to attain. This is with everything you do in life as an individual. When you do something easy, I promise you, is of low value in life. If you do something that's hard, that's why it's valuable. This is why, when people talk about body positivity, I'm sorry, I don't want to digress, but what I'm trying to say is when people talk about body positivity and these incredibly enormous people trying to pretend to be pretty, nobody takes that seriously because they know it requires no effort to become fat. But it takes tremendous amount of effort to be fit and thin and have a six-pack. That is why six-packs will be coveted for the next 100 years and fat people will not. Because it doesn't require effort to get one versus the other. And anything else, you can put that across every other aspect of life. If it doesn't require effort to attain, it will not be valued. That is why rocks are not worth shit, but diamonds are worth a fortune.
Well, on that note, guys, I do got to roll out. Other than that, Casey, any last words, Casey?
Yeah, grand scheme of things, I can agree with your premise as it pertains to classical music and its longevity in comparison to rap music. I just think it's weird to even talk about it because I don't think either of them really hold a flame to classic soul or R&B. I mean, that's just me though. Classical's cool, but I mean, I don't know. Do any of them hold a candle to Stevie Wonder?
Oh, of course, I consider the works of Beethoven to be, in fact, more superior to works of Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, don't get me wrong, he's an incredibly talented person, but when it comes as a pianist to pianist, I take Beethoven any day.
What about Beethoven over Stevie Ray Vaughan's ability to play blues guitar? Because that dude, he knew he knew the craft of the guitar very well. He was a master.
If Beethoven was born in the modern day, he would be a rock star. Like honestly, if he was born in the modern day.
Go apples to apples though, because I guarantee you that Stevie Wonder can do some Beethoven. My question is, do you think Beethoven could do what Stevie Wonder does? And what was it? Songs in the Key of Life. He played so many instruments. I can't even tell you how many instruments he played for that entire album. But it was almost every known instrument on the planet. The dude was just out there doing it all. So that's what I'm saying. Like, get the
You're breaking up, Casey.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I got that guy. I'll jump back out. But yeah, that's my deal though. Stevie's shit.
I think poor Chaotic wants to end this.
Yeah, I got it.
If I could say one more.
I mean,
thing.
unless you guys can hold it down. I mean, unless you guys.
It'll just take a minute. For the audience listening, tune in next time for us to discuss what has more staying power in the next 100 years: Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter.
Oh, he's trying to start a riot.
Yeah, you're gonna start. Buildings are gonna start burning down.
I never watched either, so I never watched either, so I don't really know.
You've never?
Okay, well, how about what's got more staying power?
I never got into that kind of fantasy storytelling. I was too much science fiction.
It's chaotic.
I don't really like fantasy. I don't really like fantasy myself, but Lord of the Rings has such great archetypes in it.
We'll go down chaotic's road. What has more staying power, Star Wars or Star Trek in the next 100 years?
That's a good one. I don't know. I mean, Star Trek has made an impressive comeback with season 3 of Picard and Strange New Worlds. So hopefully the next iteration will be good. It's up for I don't know. I mean, Star Trek was terrible under J.J. Abrams, but it might be coming back. Star Wars, The Mandalorian has went woke. People hate it now. They did a great damn job with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know, man. In terms of I had to choose one right now, I would give it Star Wars, but I'm always gonna root for Star Trek.
But how about Star Wars in the movie sense instead of the
the movies are absolutely ass. The only way that Star Wars will last is they keep doing series. Other than that, the movies suck. Yeah, the movies are ass. I don't know why they keep making these movies with these stupid.
The series is where it's been at because The Mandalorian was the shit, dude.
Honestly, if I don't think.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Lewis, you're breaking up.
I don't know.
We lost him.
Yeah. But in terms of staying power with music, I think classical is going to be here for another 5,000 years.
Classical or jazz?
Or jazz. Oh, definitely.
Jazz will be. The thing is, I think jazz, blues, and classical are of the same. They're cut from the same cloth. I see them on that level.
I think classical, jazz, and blues actually influenced all other genres of music. To be honest with you, I think all other genres we have were influenced by those 3 genres.
Yeah, well, for sure. Anyway, peace out.
Yep.
Thank you. You've been awesome.
Have a good one, Chuck. Have a good one, Fast. Salute, man. You guys have been great. Guys, have a good one. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace. I'll be on the Peef tomorrow. Peace.